Yo guys, big up. I'm trying to get everything set up real quick. There we go. Oh, come on. All right, yeah, I just want to make a thumbnail. Big up to everyone. Smash up the likes. You know the drill. Yes, I'm Adam. So yeah, it's been a while, guys, since the FIFA Intercontinental Cup final. I'm just trying to set up everyone. Yo, what's up? If you want the link, let me know. Smash up the likes. I'm just gonna send this to a few people before we can talk about it. So yeah, hope everyone had a good Merry Christmas, Kwanzaa, holiday. I did, of course. So I want to talk about everything. So you know the drill. Smash up the likes. Like and subscribe. You know the drill. I don't have to say it too much. If StreamYard acts up, because it's you know why StreamYard has been pissing me off honestly the last few days, and sorry about that. But StreamYard has just been annoying in my end. That's why I'm a bit annoyed today. Honestly, StreamYard has been giving me too much problems, and I just had enough, bro. I've been doing good. I just think I need more sleep. But are you still in Dax stream? Yes. Yes, I haven't done anything wrong to Dax. Big up to him. He's gonna be coming on soon. So, first, let me send this to a few other people real quick. Yeah, Dax said he might join, so I'll send him the link right now. That I'm live. But yeah, Filipe Luis has renewed his contract as we're going to review it. We're going to be chatting for the next hour. So yeah. So everyone, you know the drill. Smash up the like, subscribe. Merry Christmas. I hopeful as very late, but I'm really excited as well. Yeah, I'm really excited for the new season for 2026. We could talk about whatever we want. Um, I'm just trying to get everything done, bro. So yeah, so let me send this to a few people, and then we should be going out. So yeah, let me try. Get something. I feel like I have a Meldoni effect. Oh, are you okay? Are you like or you were trying to say something else? No, no, I haven't. Yes, there's been some bullshit drama that happened, and does not surprise me. Unfortunately, a few people backstab. Of course, we were still in the lab, but the drama that happened that was back in late May, and I know Dax doesn't want to talk about it too much, or I mean, actually is. But yeah, 2025 was a bit disappointing, honestly. StreamYard has been acting up, but it looks like it seems good in my end. You guys could hear me, right? Good. All right, let me send this to a few people before I send this to Dax. I hope we have a great year. Are you, yeah, yeah. You support Barcelona, right? Shoot, my bad. Oh, come on, I didn't want to get this out. I accidentally pressed something else. But yeah, I agree. Oh, apparently there's a new temple, which I will see very soon. That's something else. But yeah, happy early new year. Yeah, happy early new year, everyone. I just hope everyone happy new year. Miss Molina, I'm gonna drop the link. If anyone wants to join, here's the link. We could talk about whatever we want. We could talk about Arsenal, Aston Villa. Went wrong in 2025. Hope StreamYard does not act up. So far, it hasn't, luckily. But yeah, it's just stupid things on YouTube StreamYard. But it seems it's going fine, and I'm liking it. I could have started the stream earlier today, earlier today, I wasn't feeling that well, but I'm much better. So yeah, big up Jordan. So I'll be dropping the link. Smash up the likes, guys. Don't forget, smash up the likes. So I'm just gonna get something. Let me also get something upstairs, and as well, let me send this to a few people. Let me send this to Cooler. Let me send this to a few people on Twitter that I'm live. Looks like they're having voice chat. Yeah, sorry if I couldn't join the open voice chat. Honestly, I should. I just couldn't. So let me try. So yeah, smash up the likes. Don't move fraudulent. Absolutely, don't move fraudulent. So yeah. So yeah, join the stream, guys. Don't move fraudulent. But yeah, we'll be here for the next hopefully 2 hours. So yeah. So join in the chat. Don't move. So yeah, so let me try. PMF5 is joining. All right, let me try get something real quick. I'm gonna add you right now, but I'll be right back. Let me try get a snack real quick. Yo, but let me try get something. Thanks for joining my stream earlier. I'm on Moss's now, but support you in the stream. Okay. Oh yeah, he is live. Let me try get something. Yeah, I forgot. Sorry if I couldn't have time to reach the streams, but guys, I've been busy. That's why I couldn't do a stream in the last few days. I have to complete other videos, and it took me so long. I just had Christmas things, and yeah, and I didn't even have a major. I am trying to get a 3D printer for the printer itself. I might have to wait that till next weekend. I didn't have time this weekend. Let me try to get upstairs real quick something. And we can talk about whatever we want, but I'm also going to get into the Filipe Luis contract thing. Let me try to get something. Yo, stupid. Yeah, so I will turn on my camera in a bit, but it's just what I went through is just annoying. I just got annoyed, but I'm feeling a bit better, but I'm just annoyed. It's about StreamYard, it's just so annoying. Okay, back. But yeah, smash up the likes. I'm just tired out when I saw the link. I will do a voice review one day, but not today. Okay. Let me know when, but I know it's not going to be this year. So yeah, any thoughts before we talk about Filipe Luis's contract renewal? Even though Twitter, is acting up. Not Twitter, but StreamYard kind of is, even though shouldn't. Yeah, today my headache kind of hurting, but today, but I feel much better. So yeah, so I'm just trying to like do everything basically contact basically, but it's like so many things are in the way. It's complicated on doing things. It's just so annoying. And that's why I kind of probably have a headache, but I feel a little bit better. And FIFA, we don't know what we're doing. So what are we saying for the World Cup? What are we saying for 2025? I mean, tried but not tried. Tired? Oh yeah, that's true. All right, let me know. So yeah, so you guys could see my face. There we go. Yes, I'm wearing the Santos kid. That's why I did the Santos review. I didn't look that well. So yeah, Neymar's club, which we know. Let me try also move this. Okay, there we go. There we go, much better. So yeah, so yep, with all the 4 trophies I have, yep, Libertadores Club World Cup, which I might make it bigger. And I know StreamYard is just doing ridiculous. I might have to update this. So I will do this better. But yeah, of all the 4 trophies, I'll get it done soon. Hopefully. So fingers crossed. Smash up the likes. So yeah, I will do more of these. I might have to make it a little bit bigger, these 2. Club World Cup, I might have to make it bigger. So these are just my personal ones. It's just a test. But I'm hopeful I can make more of these so I can get these. I still have a lot of trophies to be done. I need to do Serie A. Maybe the French League trophy. The Premier League, of course. La Liga. Copa del Rey. Maybe Spanish Super Cup I might do, honestly. Maybe. Even just because it happens every year. Like the Intercontinental Cup. So, yeah. In the Champions League, I know this is just a personal one. I didn't have the hole. But now since I know how to like get the holes from had, all I just need is to white out and up with that feature, that scorchy feature. I'm just going to have a hold. And it's all going to be printed in gold like the real one. It's going to be a bit bigger. I don't know if I could do a personal size. Maybe. But only a few. And it's going to be limited. Maybe. I'll have to see. I might have to just talk about it with my uncle. But I'm just trying to get a 3D printer like the one that they have the library, the Ader mode model, basically. I think there might be 2. But yeah, that's what I'm working on. So yeah, so those are my trophy displays for now. Copa Libertadores, Champions of America, MLS Cup, Champions Cup of CONCACAF is also a must. So yeah, smash up the likes, guys. Don't move fraudulent. Don't move fraudulent. So yeah, tell me. I sent the link to Cooler and Luis. Come on. So yeah, so yeah, we can talk about whatever we want. So let me try to get this out of here real quick. I'm not annoying. But yeah, earlier I just didn't feel good. But since I'm gonna have more rest, it will be. Yes, today Morocco won 3-0 in their AFCON game. I saw that. You're watching Moss. Let me know when you're ready to join because I wouldn't be surprised if Moss won't be that long. Who's playing? I forgot it is NFL Monday. Who's playing? Oh, I see. Atlanta 14, LA 0. LA are losing at home. Fair enough. So let me try to pull this up. Okay, but yeah, it's official. Even though, yeah, I got the game on. Just need volumes. So yeah, I hope stupid StreamYard does not freaking act up because it's been acting up recently. All right, so it's confirmed, guys. Hopefully StreamYard does not freaking screw up. Come on. All right, there we go. So yeah, it's confirmed, guys. Filipe Luis. It's official. 2027. He will stay with Flamengo until December 2027. And finally, after so much drama at the last few days, especially yesterday, until yesterday, finally signs a new contract as of today. The deal was signed basically behind closed doors, probably last night, and then they officially announced it today, this morning. And Filipe Luis, he's staying here for Flamengo for 2 more years. And we're gonna talk about their season, bro. For Flamengo, what a season they're having, bro. Bro already has 7 trophies, technically 8, if you count the U20 Intercontinental Cup, the youth one, the U20 one, which they won. Or Atlanta or home? Oh, shoot. I see. But yeah, so congrats, Filipe Luis. What a dynasty building up. He already has won 6 trophies this year. I know he couldn't get the job done against PSG, Luis Enrique, but almost. That's proved that how good this Flamengo side. But this was the drama in the last few days, unfortunately. If you guys could see. But yeah, this was the chaos. There was like criticism of the sports director that was delaying. They were trying to offer a non-review of Filipe Luis. It was a major reason why. Also, this guy looks like that he might be a fraud then, because he was holding back Filipe Luis's contract. And there was like new reports as well from Global and GE and like some other Brazilian source that was the reason why he was holding back. And yeah, and he did it just like that. 2019, 2025, just did like that. After winning the Libertadores as a player and as a manager 6 years later in the same city, in the same bloody stadium at Universitarios ground. And on December 27th, which was Sunday or Saturday, we didn't have updates till finally today, because it looks like that things with Filipe Luis wasn't going to renew. And I know this is in Portuguese. I mean, I understand, but big up to Joe, who was at Flamengo team.
YouTube, também no Facebook, na Twitch e no X, beleza?
It belongs for them.
E sejam todos bem-vindos a mais essa live do canal.
So I know this is everything Portuguese, but he's saying about like how club like offers and like and all that. And I know like I'm trying to like understand Portuguese. I'm doing my best. Filipe Luis renewed Flamengo after rumors possible conflict continue at the club, but looks like he is. So yeah, his contract will be here till 2027. It looks like with the same project. So maybe behind closed door they knew, because it looks like we all know that he probably will want to go to Europe after Flamengo. Even though Filipe Luis, out of nowhere, best Brazilian coach ever. I don't know ever, but out of nowhere, he exceeded expectation. As a young man, after retiring from football, 2 years later, he would go ahead and complete almost everything in football as a manager after retiring from the sport. And he's not going anywhere. He will be here for the next 2 años, for the next 2 years. And yeah. And you can also say your opinion in the comments about the reunion. Hold on, let me respond to this. So yeah, Filipe Luis will be staying at Flamengo for the next 2 years. It's confirmed. Big up Delhi FC, my guy. I saw you in the chat at Football Carnage stream. Big up to you, Will. Salute you. I'm surprised. Filipe Luis is the guy. He should take over after Carlo. I would love to. He's absolutely phenomenal. He's absolutely doing a fantastic job at Flamengo. But I was wondering that too. I mean, we'll see what happens with Carlo in the World Cup, of course. We will see. And even though Filipe Luis already, but I know he wants to pursue his dream to Europe. And yes, unfortunately he is a legend for the red side of Madrid. The other side of Madrid, you guys don't get along, and you guys call them, your little brothers. So I think I have a feeling he's probably going to go to Atletico Madrid and replace Diego Simeone, even though Atletico Madrid has been trusting Simeone They've kept him for 14 years straight. I don't know if this is a record for Atleti. And I know you guys have the Madrid derby in the coming weeks in the Super Cup. I don't know how confident you are, especially with the problems with Xabi Alonso. And even though Xabi Alonso at Leverkusen was formidable, with no pressure and all that, almost winning the Europa League almost, besides that final. Flamengo, I know Flamengo, maybe not Real Madrid, but they might be the Real Madrid of South America at this point. And they're trying to make the standards even higher because of how well, especially they've been doing since 2019. When they won since 2019 3 Libertadores, especially because of him. So do I think I do want him to coach Brazil for sure if things don't work out with Carlo, but I wouldn't be surprised that he would go to Atletico Madrid. I don't know if Chelsea are in him or anyone else in Europe, but I know many clubs in Europe will be hoping. I know Atleti fans are fed up with Cholo Simeone that haven't brought any trophies since 2021. They probably will want him in to save them. But even though Atleti, Simeone, I think it's time to go because I think it might have been a little bit too much. But yeah, it's oficial, bro, in Brazil, yes. So he renewed his contract. So yeah, he's going to continue. In my opinion, yep, he's very happy. Yes, and he's doing this, and he might be leading for a possible, maybe a dynasty for Flamengo. How they play. Oh, I see a 2nd and goal or 3 and 8 for LA. But yeah, I could see them winning more trophies. Filipe Luis, he almost completed football, just the Intercontinental Cup and Club World Cup trophies were the 2 ones that were missing. Yes, and then we're going to talk about Flamengo's schedule, even though we will be back for a stream tomorrow on the Brazilian channel to talk about the Brazilian league fixtures. But yeah, I could see Atleti happening, yes, because especially he's a legend for their club as well, Atleti and Flamengo. He spent most of his career, of course, besides that year loan to Chelsea. Yeah, I could see him I could see that even though Simeone, I know he has done so much for Atleti, even though Atleti, even they can't beat the Barcelona, Real Madrid break ball as much ever since they last have done in 2021. And Atleti, I don't expect them to win a trophy, even if Atleti beat Real Madrid in the Classic and the Madrid derby or Derby Madrileño in like 10 days or 11 days. Yeah, 10 days. It's on a Thursday, if I'm correct, right, Dali? I don't expect to beat Barcelona, and I expect Barcelona to beat Bilbao. But yeah, what for Filipe Luis, with with 2 years, with 2 more years to go, I wonder what he does. And yeah, Plan B, Plan C, Flamengo coach remains the same. Filipe Luis, where it continues. So I can't wait what he will do in 2026. How the in-game manages, and I know that he could get better. His tactics is pretty almost awesome. And I know there might be a few sluggish games as long as they complete the work. We saw that in the FIFA Club World Cup, kind of ish, unfortunately. Against Chelsea, where they beat them, of course, and then in the FIFA Continental Cup final against PSG, even though they were declared the away team and trying to go for it, even if they didn't have enough quality to match them on the match, but to defend for their lives, it's just the best. And I'm really proud, and I hope what he does for Europe. But make sure you smash up the like. We need at least 20 likes today. I'll be happy. If not, then I don't know if I will stream tomorrow, as we will review their season for tomorrow. So retire from football. Flamengo's U20 wins the Club World Cup or Intercontinental Cup. Flamengo senior manager by October, the end of September. Wins Copa do Brazil. And then the next year, he would win 6 trophies, especially the big one, the Copa Libertadores, the South American Champions League, making it El Tetracampeón, doubling the following of Flamengo. Flamengo has grown so exponentially. I know they're a big club, but since 2019, they kind of been on another roll. I know this might be a kind of the dynasty moments. I don't know if we'll see. I don't know if this dynasty moment will be better than Zico, for example. In the 1980s, what he created, maybe. And I forgot I was coaching at that time, but the 1980s Flamengo, of course, was kind of a dynasty basically. But since 2019, when they had Gabriel Barbosa, Gabigol, who looks like he's moving to Santos apparently, or Liga MX might be him. I don't know. Yeah, and this is just insane. Look at how many trophies he won. 8 of them. 8 of them. The FIFA U17 Intercontinental, the U17 Intercontinental Cup, or Club World Cup, by defeating Olympiacos, I think 1-0 or 2-1. I forgot that scoreline. They defeated them, and then he wins Copa do Brazil. Flamengo were already in the semifinals with Titi, and even though Titi was playing Harambal, he was already in the semifinals, as he did took down Palmeiras Bahia. Bahia was not playing that well at that time either. Defeating them like 2-0. Flamengo were already in the semifinal. And then like Filipe Luis, yes, it is a mix of Simeone ball. And it's basically tactically, defensively, but attacking wise, he does and we're pretty much good basically. Like let me see. But it's like a lot. But yeah, what a wonderful season. But yeah, after the Copa do Brazil, he wins the Super Cup against Botafogo, who had the greatness team basically they ever had with Luis Enrique, different Luis Enrique the player, and Angulo Jesus, who's now at Forest, Almada, who's now at Atletico Madrid after transferring from Atleti to Lyon, Botafogo to Lyon, and could have played for one of the two clubs, even though I didn't make a signing until July. But yeah, it's just massive. What he's doing is just an amazing work. Out of nowhere, he's a genius. He comes up with a plan. If he sees something that does not go right, he fixes like kind of immediately. Yes, there's like fluky games like against Fortaleza, kind of it. Serie A away, Serie A. But the tactics are more in-game manages. They can be even better, I guess, maybe. In-game managing. So yeah, basically, like even though these tactics, of course, you gotta understand. Oh, touchdown! Oh, what happened? No! What happened to my stupid computer? Hold on, guys. Sorry about that, guys. But yeah. Yeah, I know, so stupid and rough. But basically, this is the topical, and here's the breakdown. So basically, here's the breakdown, basically. And I know that I may get this wrong. Basically, of course, and then especially he's a modern coach and basically shaped by like Diego Simeone. Of course, like I mentioned, defensive structure, despite of course copying it in his head, but kind of there's saying a mix of Spanish football culture, temporary control, basically. Pep Guardiola position play spacing kind of ish. He thinks he's like a game midfielder, but not a fullback. So we all know Filipe Luis mostly uses the 4-3-3 or on the perfect shape, and I think this is mostly on the ball. And I think off the ball, it's like a 4-1-4-1 or 4-4-2 mid block, basically. Especially position players, uppercut zone, not fixed positions, fullbacks, word under lap, wingers stay wide to hitch, and then the draws from wingers to control from midfield, and then especially the best defense, very important. 2-3 players positioned to stop counter. Center backs holding midfielders from a triangle, basically how they set up basically. And I thought right now. And then present transition, keep pressing high after high ball losses, and let me also get something. Hold on. Sorry about that. Controlling pressing, but I know not consistent high press, because of course the ball, of course, especially bad touch pass to fullback, back to goalkeeper, like you would do basically carefully in the right way. Fullbacks are decision makers. That one goes another goes and say time speed. Fullbacks doesn't run basically that. Hey, 3 versus 2 or 4 versus 3 midfield kind of ish. Shot triangle and I'm assuming quick third man runs. It's a lot, bro. The end game manager where he stands out. So he basically switches 4-3-3 and goes back to 3-4-3. I'm assuming, or 4-3-2-1. I know it's complicated tactically. Drop a fullback into the back three, push the midfield higher, leading to a slower who keeps the ball. Increase centralness, losing that on subs ain't for one sub can change, another one could be every substitution asks question, and especially reading the game itself kind of ish. React to man marking, not letting the opponent get to it, especially the ball where they're about to score from open play, or even off set piece corners as well. Ball blocks, overload wings, move danger zones away from the pressure. Weakness, yes, and you could say maybe the system may need intelligent players, even though I think most of them are kind of technical, but they could even get maybe better. Can struggle against deep blocks, for example, Fortaleza or Serie A, I'm assuming, or very low blocks. Youth squad mainly. Sure, yeah, that's true. I mean, Filipe Luis, he does kind of trust the youth. I know he did use what's his name, John Victor for the Fla-Flu when Vascaeta and a few other players were missing due to the international friendlies. Even though I think that was stupid. I mean, no, not from him, but from the federation to host the game the day after because they won't be ready, all because of complicated calendar. And unfortunately, due to the inexperience, he did cost Flamengo those 2 goals kind of in. And that's why they lost Fla-Flu. Filipe Luis doesn't coach moments. He coaches basically control. So so this is what he's built for modern football in Brazil, and I'm proud of it. I'm glad that he's basically doing the right thing. And of course, the players he has, the board, Flamengo, we all know they are the richest club. They are massive. They are no joke. Flamengo is the biggest club in the world outside of Europe. So I think that will continue, even though I think just tactically. And Flamengo, Filipe Luis, they've won 6 trophies this year. But as a manager, he already has won 7, almost completing football already. Just the FIFA Intercontinental Cup itself. so close, and the new FIFA Club World Cup. And even though I know some people want to debate about that, and of course, someone says, "Ooh, Flamengo." Flamengo posted a crucial photo about Filipe Luis' contract renewal. Why is someone adding Johnny Cardoso? Why did they add a Johnny Cardoso? Interesting. I don't know if it's just, the troll guy or whatever. But yeah, Filipe Luis, I'm happy what he's doing. Let me see if I can find that trophy cabinet. If not, I might have to just score through bookmarkings, basically. Let me see. I know. But yeah, the long-headed guy, bro. It's more than this. But yeah, this guy, bro, he's absolute legend, bro. Whether you scored whether you dislike Atleti or Flamengo or not, this guy is cool, bro. Big up, hello, C Media. Smash up the like, give this a like. But yeah, he's a cool G guy. Someone says it all. The Red and Black Revolution congratulating involved in Flamengo. We must remain united. Absolutely. But yeah, I know this maybe the master, bro. He's such a master. I know this may be somewhat discordant, but everything is going right. But I hope this doesn't get exposed, because sometimes the tactics do, not improve as much or not good enough. So don't be surprised, even though I'm not trying to get copyright. But yeah, bro. I just hope I don't get copyrighted. YouTube's BS. But I'm really happy for him. And yeah, even though I can't find the trophy, or let me see, I might have bookmarked one of them. I might have to go deep down. Who cares if it's personal? Neymar Santos. They were about to bring Arthur Jr. as of yesterday. I heard reports they were about to bring Arthur Jr., former Botafogo manager. Someone basically edited his shirt with the Flamengo logo, or AI this kind of ish. Imagine if he was Flamengo. Yeah, shushing his haters. They were about to bring him, and I didn't mind if they brought him in case Filipe Luis was going to leave. So they were having everything ready. They had someone else ready. But yeah, of course, this would be the defeat that no one forget. So yeah. All right, let me find that Filipe Luis picture. But yeah, he won 6 trophies. Kind of like a sextuple. Not maybe the main sextuple, but a kind of sextuple. Cruzeiro brings in Titi, of course. Florentians Union. Where is it? I might have to score down to... did I not save it? Come on. Did I not save this? I didn't save the photo. God's sakes. Let me try to put 6. Hopefully that pops out. Come on. But yeah, and then don't forget Filipe Luis. This is the titles between Thiago Silva and Filipe Luis as a player. We all know Thiago Silva, PSG, AC Milan, Chelsea. Filipe Luis, also Chelsea a bit, Atletico Madrid mostly. 13 near Europe, 6. Oh, I think this is titles. So Thiago Silva, yeah, he might have won more as a player than Filipe Luis. Apparently, Filipe Luis might have won 6 in Europe, including that Europa League Super Cup as well. I don't know if this is true. I mean, that's a lie. But Thiago Silva, most of his titles were probably from when PSG, and they keep winning leagues, cups, of course, Milan as well. And then I think they might have won the Champions League, or Milan haven't won since 2007. And then Thiago Silva wins the Champions League with Chelsea, the FIFA Club World Cup against Palmeiras in 2022, but technically 2021 edition that took place. And yeah, that happened basically. So yeah, so that took place. But yeah, apparently these are our stats. Apparently, and between the two players, and of course, I have Filipe Luis profile picture to honor him, honestly. And don't forget, they won the Copa America in 2019 together. But yeah, and I know Filipe Luis, he may not won the Champions League. Unfortunately, that heartbreak against Real Madrid, their biggest rivals, of course, in the Champions League final, the Madrid derby twice back to back. Well, 2014, 2016, but almost back to back. With the Champions League final losses to Real Madrid. That's why Atleti has a big hatred for Real Madrid. Now, of course, Filipe Luis will wish his team good luck, and of course, Flamengo. Of course, the fans are pretty split because they want to be the Real Madrid, but they also have their gaffer who plays for Atleti, so it's hard who to support. Real Madrid, Atleti, and then you got Vinny, of course, even though Vinicius Jr. unfortunately had a poor 2025. Sadly, still, but yeah, for Filipe Luis, even though I couldn't find a trophy count, this is as of 2021. This is how he won as a player as of 2021. He won a Copa America, Confederation Cup, Libertadores as a player, even though this wasn't updated yet. 2 Super Cups, Recopa, Carioca, the Premier League, Chelsea, which we all know, Copa del Rey for Atletico Madrid, La Liga for Atleti, 2 Europa Leagues, Dutch. Oh yeah, that's true. He went to I forgot who was it, PSV or Fine? I forgot who got in. But yeah, Felipe Luis is massive, bro. As a player and now as a manager, he has gotten 7 trophies, even though it's not showing up these 6 trophies, bro. Let me see if I can try to pull up FIFA Challenger at least. But this is why, bro. He's going to prove everyone why he's going to be absolutely cool, bro. If he keeps this up, yes. I could Flamengo, they should go for it. They should go back-to-back titles. Or back-to-back titles, maybe. Back-to-back league titles. Or, back-to-back Brazilian league titles. Maybe go for the treble. Maybe. Win everything. Maybe win Libertadores again, maybe. Maybe go for the 5th Libertadores title, break that record. Try to build a dynasty, basically, because the players they have, oh my goodness, especially Jorginho, in his last bit of career at Flamengo. I want to see how it worked, how it will done, but yeah. Yep, 2019, 2022, and now 2025 as a manager. Is in Libertadores, but yeah, they didn't even have to play the best. Yep. So yeah, and even though this would have been updated, yes, the Super Copa, Carioca, Copa Libertadores, the Brazilian League, of course, which I will make as well. And then the Derbies to America trophy against Cruz Azul, the FIFA Challenger Cup. Even though, of course, people want to debate about those trophies from FIFA, if they were Mickey Mouse trophies and all that. Even though, yeah, debate that FIFA, and I know FIFA, they're just getting more greedy with money. But Filipe Luis doesn't matter to him. He's just conquering whatever he wants. And Europe does await him because I want to see the best potential. And, of course, Flamengo fans, they should enjoy it before he goes to Europe, unless they could have gone maybe Arthur in time, but they didn't. Cooler, you're here, finally. What are we saying? Guess what? One update. Filipe Luis, he's staying with Flamengo until 2027. As I'm wearing a Santos shirt, and apparently they might bring in Gabriel Barbosa. And yeah, as we're going to review Flamengo's this season, bro. And what are we saying about the Super Cup as well, building up? Let me also try to get a snack, basically. And this was back in 2019, where Filipe Luis against Liverpool. I hope that's probably copyrighted. I just hate Dude, I just hate the copyright rule. Even the FIFA Club World Cup or Intercontinental or Club Football account says from player to coach. This was March 29th. And then goes ahead and wins and then be part of it. But yeah, these are the trophies that I've won. But as the players behind it, but the Copa do Brazil in front, that's the first one. I mean, these are the trophies that he won basically himself as a player. But this is as manager. So that needs to be updated. I don't know if I could edit that image. But yeah, I'm trying to find what he did as a manager. It's not showing up. But yeah, the equipment, the Champions League of Europe, it is. Copa Libertadores is the Champions League of the Americas or South America because CONCACAF. But yeah. But yeah, W, yes. So we will be saying more. And maybe, who knows? Maybe in 2026, we'll see the best version. I can't wait what they're bringing on. I heard they are trying to bring in Cal Georgie from Cruzeiro. Let me try to say this in English then. Private accounts. What's the point of it? I may spell trophy wrong. Or títulos. But yeah, 1 year, 7 títulos, bro. I don't think I should get copyrighted. Just not play the song. But I hate copyright, bro. It's like destroying everything. Look at him. Calm. Jen. He knows that the in-game manager, what's this called? The toy, or not toy, yeah, going everything basically. No. And like, dude, I hate copyright because I want to sing a song. But yeah, he does it at the right time. He owns Palmeiras. Owning Vasco, even though Vasco did somehow get draws against Flamengo. And yeah. But yeah, 7 trophies. Technically. But 6 trophies in a year. And yeah, Real Madrid, 0 trophies. Flamengo, 6. And Flamengo, honestly, you want to know what's a historic fact about Vinicius Jr. and Flamengo? Right? You want to know a fact about Vinicius Jr. and Flamengo? And it's going to be true. Ever since Vinicius Jr. left Flamengo, joined Real Madrid in the summer of 2018 when Ronaldo left, of course, before he would get all the experience, of course. And of course, before it becomes a main popular of an enemy, basically, of course, of Real Madrid. Once he left, Filipe Luis, I think he came back to Flamengo around the same time from Atleti. I think he left in the same summer, 2018. Filipe Luis comes back to his boyhood club, Flamengo, who's been a huge Flamengo fan. I forgot where he started his career, which we're gonna have a review in a bit. Ever since Vinny left, Filipe Luis came back to Rio de Janeiro as they swapped cities to Madrid and Rio. Vinny goes to Madrid. Vinny and Filipe Luis comes back home to Rio. They've quadrupled their Copa Libertadores title. It was won. As of the summer of 2018, it was won. The summer of 2018 World Cup. And now they've quadrupled it. It's 4 now. They have 4 Copa Libertadores titles. You hear me right. The dynasty has officially arrived. Big up, Blue. What are you saying about you as a Corinthians fan? Filipe Luis has renewed his contract for Flamengo before you clash in the Supercopa on January the 24th. What are we saying? Will TV Global broadcast the game? Tell me. The Supercopa. What do you think of Filipe Luis as a player, manager, before Flamengo and Corinthians clash in the Super Cup, which we will be doing a preview in a few weeks? But yeah, it's in a few weeks. What are we saying? But yeah, they have 4 trophies of these. And ever since then, Flamengo have absolutely looked dominant, bro. These guys are absolutely getting them, bro. It's no joke. But yeah, what are we saying? They've quadrupled their Libertadores titles from 1 to 4. All thanks to Filipe Luis, especially as a midfielder, of course, defense, left back. And then, yeah, this guy, he's landing it, bro. Filipe Luis, bro. We may not see the best version of him just yet. This guy will be a legend, and who knows? Maybe he will. He might coach Brazil, maybe by the 2030 or 2034 World Cup. The guy just started Flamengo. He's only 40 years old. Look at how much he could achieve in the next 20 years. I'm excited, bro. Oh my days! If we get him, and if he's good enough, for sure, we should be winning the World Cup in the next few cycles. We have to. And hopefully Felipe Luis doesn't get found out or his tactics do not work. But Blue, what are we saying? Felipe Luis, 2027 contract renewal. What are you saying as a Corinthians fan, especially you have them in Super Copa as we return to the Clásicos of the Clásicos, Flamengo Corinthians, January 24th. What are you saying, Ed? Will TV Global broadcast the game? Tell me in the comments. Tell me. But yeah, 8 trophies. 8 trophies since August. More than anyone. David All Jr., after he embarrassed us with Argentina, switched to Corinthians and won 1 trophy. Even though Ramon Diaz did the Ballistón. What are we saying? But now these two teams will clash in the Super Cup, and yeah, I'm really excited. So let me try and get something. But let me know in the comments what you think of the rivalry. What do you think of the upcoming match? About the two teams. And we will review their season. So yeah, well, let me try and get something real quick, and then I'll be there with you. Give me 1 sec. I'm back. I just need to get this. Sorry about that. Tell me. Blue, are you still there? I had a question for you. Are you still there? Or are you gone? Okay. Oh, your comment was catching up. Oh, gotcha. It's interesting. I thought I did check Global's website. The schedule game doesn't appear, or at least not yet. Okay, fair enough. Well, I know we still have a few weeks, but as a Corinthians fan, what are you saying about Filipe Luis's contract renewal? He's staying there till 2027, as both of you guys will participate in Libertadores. You think that Flamengo will be doing a lot of damage? People should watch out. What are we saying? But we will be here for the Super Cup. We will be here. So, yeah. All right, got 10 likes. Hold on, let me try. I'm excited for the game. But what are you saying about Filipe Luis' contract renewal? What do you think of him as a player? Do you watch him? You remember that Copa America squad in 2019? And at that time, I should have been involved. I should have watched Copa America in 2019. Mexico won the CONCACAF Gold Cup as well. I should have been interested back then. But I just didn't know where the game's at, and I think I like multiple homework from middle school that summer as well. I mean, I didn't went to summer school. I just don't remember. Hold on before I add you. Hold on, your device is not connected, bro. Why? Your device is not connected, unfortunately, and it's not letting me add you. So you might have to rejoin. Try to fix up your camera. But Blue, what are you saying about Filipe Luis's renewal? Tell me. Let me know your thoughts. But yeah, hey, trophies already since August. And yes, that'll be his next trophy. Is that Super Cup final in January against Corinthians. So what are we saying about that? Let me try to type Flamengo Corinthians. But yeah, and especially he brought 7 trophies to the club immediately. More trophies than Palmeiras. He has won more trophies in a year. Or just over a year. More than what's this called? All right, come on. More than Palmeiras have won this decade, I think. I mean, well, don't get me wrong, Palmeiras did win a lot, but 2025 they've won nothing. 2024 just a palestón. But yeah, he's just doing bigger, faster now than Ferreira. Because normally Brazilian managers are just not doing good. But Filipe Luis already, bro, thriving. It looks like I've gotten news from this. So let me read this. I never heard of Filipe Luis. I'm not a fan of Flamengo. I'm happy for him. You never heard of him? He was on Brazil's squad in 2019 and as well the 2014 World Cup, if I'm correct. And I think 2018 as well. He was that famous left back for Atleti. You've never heard of him? And don't you remember him like when Corinthians play against him? Against Flamengo? So you're happy for him as well, definitely. All right, so yeah. According to Papa Rojinegro, Flamengo fan says the final to Supercopa has a change date. Oh! We have an update! Oh, shoot! This is today. The Super Cup is not going to be played in January. It's going to be played on February the 1st instead, the week later. The same weekend as the Bass Derby. Come on. Why? Really? Oh. Dylan, the link is available. Let me know if you want to join or not. What's up? Salute you. Share this stream. Smash up the likes. United 1. Newcastle 0. You guys will host Wolves tomorrow. As Flamengo Corinthians will be played on February 1st, Blue. What are your thoughts? They've changed the date. According to a journalist report by Augusto Enrique from the channel, they've changed the date. The Super Cup will be in Brasilia, arena, or Manaus. All the way up in northern Brazil. Far away. Really far away. Even though Manaus would still be closer to Rio than Sinaloa or Cancun. I'm traveling home right now. Oh, you'll join next stream? Oh, yeah, I forgot to pin the comments. And this is for everyone. Okay, there it is. Okay, fair enough. How's your trip to Portugal? Good. Do you understand Portuguese? I'm still trying to learn. And I'm trying to become fluid, but I got these things. But even though I tend to be better every single month, I say good. But yeah. The Super Cup is February 1st, and both teams, that's the next title they could win. And honestly, this might be a 50-50 game where Flamengo are the slightly favorites because they do have Corinthians' number this year, home and away. But look at the squad he has. Ascayeta, that number 10 role. Bruno Enrique, Gonzalo Plata, Pedro, Danilo. Danilo, you remember him, right? And Leo Pereira, of course, the center backs, of course. Of course. And of course, what's his name? Jorginho, of course. Look at the players they have, bro. It's just so cool, not talked about. Do I think Filipe Luis and Flamengo could win everything? Maybe. Is it guaranteed? Maybe not all of it, or maybe. But if they do, if Flamengo wins everything next year, if they win the Intercontinental Cup, then yeah. Then yeah. So yeah, it's time to put our things in black and red. Roji Negro. About how they do this. It's unreal. This is no joke. It's just so much fun to watch. Flamengo, Filipe Luis. Look at the trophies I'm trying to get. Trying to get the Intercontinental Cup hopefully next year, even though with European teams getting favorable calls a little bit quality, but I just hope going toe to toe one of the best teams in the world. And I like watching PSG. It's just phenomenal. I know he couldn't score from open play, but he did everything to hold them. Flamengo, in my opinion, showed more fight than Barcelona, Atleti, Real Madrid. And who else got smashed up? Inter Milan. Even Arsenal, in my opinion. Who else? Who else? A lot of teams. Even though Bayern did get revenge, of course, and Miami lost. But yeah. Flamengo, they're just going to win everything. And if they win everything, they could be considered to be bigger than a lot of teams. For sure. If they win every single trophy next year. They got the Recopa next year. So how many competitions is Filipe Luis going to be in there next year, likely? I mean, it could be more if they do win Libertadores. We all know they're going to be in the Supercopa do Brazil. That's one match, one trophy. There you go. They're going to be in their league, which is bread and butter, as well the cup, Copa do Brazil, the league, Carioca as always. So that's 4. Copa Libertadores, 5. 5 different competitions, but it could be 6. So they could win up all the way to 9 trophies. I could be wrong. This could be 9 trophies. Oh, I forgot the Recopa. So they could win 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They could win up to 8 trophies. Hold on. Let me see. Super Cup, Recopa, Carioca, Brazilian League, Copa Libertadores, Brazilian Cup, that's 6. The Derby to America trophy again. They could win up to 9 trophies. FIFA Challenger Cup and the Intercontinental Cup. If they win everything, this might be the best Brazilian team of all time. Then Filipe Luis, I don't know if he stays in 2027, or I mean he will. I mean, unless he wants to leave a bit earlier. Because I don't know if there is that clause. But yeah, what are you saying, Blue, about that? But you imagine if he wins everything, bro. But yeah, this might be a nightmare for the Americas for the next 2 years, likely. Especially if he gets his players what he wants. And they cook so hard. It's not looking good for South America. It's not looking good for Brazil and South America. Might conquer partially the world. The Intercontinental Cup. Yeah, win that. It's much bigger than the Club World Cup history-wise. Yeah. But yeah. Imagine what he would do. Oh my goodness, bro. Brazil will absolutely not be here, and the people have to respect the king already. Surpass the legacy. If he wins everything next year, I mean, I know it's hard to do, but if he doesn't, then you know what? Just end his contract early. Maybe, or maybe you could let him stay 1 more year and just bring him for the Copa America and let's win that as a manager. Honestly, even though I know Atleti wants him, but Brazil, I want them to be winning Copa America. I wish they participate in that CONCACAF Gold Cup because I want one at least. Make it more bid competitive to the USA and Mexico and Canada. Which Brazil was invited, but they didn't took it seriously. I wouldn't mind at least 1 Gold Cup trophy. I would love to be in that. Even with David All Jr. or DT, or not DT. I don't know if they win the Gold Cup. I mean, they should. But I fear that they fumble against Mexico. And Mexico wanted slightly more. And of course, but Mexico as well, they have problems. But we'll see. But yeah, it's just a dynasty. Flamengo has 25 million Instagram followers. This is no joke. But yeah, be prepared. South America might be finished. History makers. And if they double the trophy cabinet, you won't be here. Rival fans that hate Flamengo, the Vascaínos won't be here anymore. They probably would give up their club. Because Vasco, their worst nightmare is almost came true. Almost everything. Yes, they'll be in Carioca. So September 9th, January 26th, we'll be back for it, for the league to start, I think, which we will be reacting to the fixtures tomorrow. But let's check back to January. And who knows, the FIFA Club World Cup would have been different if it wasn't for that Bayern game getting fixed up, in my opinion. All right, they started 2025 with a 2-1 loss against Boavista, but that was the B team or C team or D team. That wasn't Flamengo's any A team players, or even not even the B team as much, because they were out here doing preseason, drawing 0-0 in Miami with Sao Paulo, and then they would lose 2-1 to. So Flamengo didn't start cooking till they only just had 2 losses. It was just 3 games before they started using the full A team. They beat Botafogo to win the Super Cup, first trophy Filipe Luis delivered, and he's likely going to go for it again. And don't forget, they got the Recopa against Lannis. So, and then I know they're going to go for that. So that's going to be another trophy likely win, in my opinion. And they'll try to go everything. Everything. And become the coolest team. And go for another league title. I know some Flamengo players want to go for another league title to be happier. To catch up with Palmeiras as well. And don't rule them out. Oh, touchdown LA. Touchdown LA. They get another one back. 9-24. Yeah, meaning Goldfish. They got a 5-0 win against Portuguesa. Did they use the A team? Yes. From minute 37, they scored from open play. They broke them down, and everything started to fall off. Portuguesa couldn't maintain position. They lose 5-0. Wallace Young, and yes, Filipe Luis is back. Cooked them. And yeah, because they knew they were going to qualify. Not missing chances, bro. They beat Botafogo 1-0. Vasco 2-0. Keeping clean sheets in the derbies. In the Carioca. In the league phase. What are your thoughts? And what do you think of Palmeiras? You think they win the trophy or nah? Flamengo were going to top the group because they knew the Ortiz cooked. Oh, yeah, there was no stats. And then they cooked with Vasco. The biggest game. They cooked these Vascaínos on the same day. And even though my computer wants to act up, which is annoying, they go ahead and beat them in the Carioca semifinal. And it's over. Yup. He's got Vasco can't handle it. Getting owned by Bruno Enrique. They know Vasco is not good enough. Hold on. Ya, estoy bien, no aguanto. Sorry about that, guys. And I haven't even had time to do this, but yeah, they absolutely cooked everyone. Look at this. Vasco in the second leg, and then Filipe. These guys were not good enough. Just look at how good they play. And then actually, there's no need. They'll come back. And yes, they had some fluky games. And they went Carioca, and the rival fans are going to cry about it. Fluminense had the better shots. Yeah, they even had 2 goals disallowed. That's how bad Fluminense were. And then they go ahead and draw 1-1 with Internacional. That was a disappointing debut because they should have won this game, honestly. This was disappointing. They should have won. 5 shots on target. They were the better team. They should have won. They should have won this game. Internacional. They got a good result, and that was poor defending. They let another Bruno Enrique score on them. They started off with a draw. Cruzeiro and Vasco won their first games. And I thought that was disappointing. They should have won. But I thought Internacional would be as good as last year. So I was like, okay, fair result. And then they did beat Deportivo Táchira, Victoria, back-to-back away games. They did lose to Central Cobra, which was a little bit of a fluke game, I can't lie. Including that they scored from open play. They lost at the Maracanã, yep. And then they beat Grêmio away from home. They beat UB2. They smashed them 6-0. They would go 4 straight games. No, they would go a lot of games to keep a clean sheet. Rossi kept a clean sheet in all these games. 2-0 win against Grêmio and a 6-0 win against UB2 of Porto, not Porto. And Moscow. And Vasco, they unfortunately they did went scoreless against Vasco. These guys come back to draw. In my opinion, I thought they should have lost 7 open play shots, and these guys got away with it. This is why Vasco should have freaking lost. And then against UB Tubin, they smashed them 6-0. But then against LD Quito of Ecuador, they drew, unfortunately. This was disappointing. But unfortunately, they did smash their Corinthians 4-0. This is a horrific performance. This was your biggest defeat of the year. This was Flamengo's one of their biggest wins of the year. Debatable. Because, of course, they got another big wins, especially the one against Chelsea. But yeah, it's annoying. I know, right? That was the worst performance, right, Blue? And then, yeah, look at the fixtures, bro. These guys, they did have a bad game against Cruzeiro, but to be fair, Cruzeiro would have had a good season. But even though I think this was still disappointing, Gabriel Barbosa winning the rebound penalty after missing that against former club, even though I didn't celebrate that much. But yeah, Cruzeiro did beat Flamengo 2-1. But to be fair, Cruzeiro, they've been good in the big games all year long at home. But even though maybe this was a bit disappointing in the big reality check, Filipe Luis was given his first L of the year, of the season in the Brazilian League, round 7. They drew 1-1 with Caldeira away, unfortunately. They beat Bahia. They did beat LD Quito at home. They draw 0-0 Botafogo. as well. Botafogo scumbag the draw. Just like Vasco, they created bigger chances. And then they added on 4 minutes and then 0-0. Disappointing, honestly. But they didn't lose 2-0 like they did under Titi, even though Botafogo were stronger back then. And the pressure was on. Because the pressure was on to beat Palmeiras because they were 4 points behind them at that time. And Palmeiras would beat Bragantino. Bragantino don't know how to play football as much anymore. And then they beat Botafogo, the another one, PB one, I forgot which state of it, 4-2. And this was the big one. The big one. Flamengo 2, Palmeiras 2. Palmeiras missed the penalty. They were given a pen. This guy missed the pen. And the El Super Clásico Brazil, Victor Roque was not good. Esteval was getting locked up. He couldn't do it in open play as they missed. And then they're through on goal. LA, they're going to score. They're going to touchdown, the rebound, the tactics. They're going to score. Should have been 25 instead. But yeah, tell me. They beat Palmeiras. What was your thoughts on the first game? Oh, is it but yeah, they just couldn't do it against a better team. They couldn't do it. They needed the refs. They gave them everything, and they still lost. The piggies to the vultures. They know. Mm-hmm. They lose 2-0. No, tell me. 2-0, and then they lose. They beat the Deportivo Táchira, which was the winning game to qualify for the round of 16 Libertadores. If they didn't win that, and if it wasn't for that save, they would have been in big trouble. Even though they should have won this game more. Honestly, if Flamengo didn't win, they would have gone out in the Libertadores. And why is that? Yeah. And then Flamengo will go ahead, beat Fortaleza 5-0, trashed them, and that was it for the Brazilian League before they played on Chelsea. What are your thoughts? They smashed Fortaleza 5-0. Fortaleza were crap. No doubt. Fortaleza were not good enough, by the way. 3 shots, but yeah, none of them were good enough. And Fortaleza lose 5-0. And yeah, here comes the FIFA Club World Cup. Chelsea beat LAFC 2-0. Flamengo beat Estudiantes 2-0. Expected 2-0, but the performance needed to be better because Chelsea were coming. And guess what? Flamengo got a 3-1 win against Chelsea. Leon, well, that wasn't their match. Due to them getting knocked out by FIFA. Flamengo 3, Chelsea 1 was by far the big one. And Chelsea somehow managed to win the Club World Cup. Was a joke, in my opinion. But they didn't exactly. Fortaleza. And by the way, let me add C-Media. I didn't notice you. It was a StreamYard, was not.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, hi, C-Media. I'm just doing a Brazil report. Or about Flamengo. Filipe Luis. Jackson got sent off. Enrique scored. Danilo back-to-back. set pieces, and those 2 open play goals. Wallace Young fills off the game 3-1. The only mistake was from Wesley, but I expected Flamengo to do the remontada, and they did. They had more shots, 9 shots, and it was nice to see black and red go against the Blues, even though Chelsea were in their white away kit, unfortunately. And all because Chelsea's dark blue couldn't clash against black and red. I mean, they should. They didn't have to be all white. That wouldn't make sense. Like clashing with those shorts, bro. But yeah. Nicholas Jackson got sent off, but yeah. Filipe Luis always gets things right. And then, unfortunately, yeah, they did draw 1-1 with LAFC. That wasn't the problem. Flamengo topped their group. And they still had to play Bayern Munich. All because Bayern Munich lost to play Benfica on purpose. And I thought that was rigged in my opinion because Bayern was supposed to be playing Chelsea in the Club World Cup, round of 16. And who knows, the Club World Cup would have been different. Even though I think Flamengo would have gotten knocked out by PSG. Maybe the final would have been PSG Bayern, and that would have been a different outcome. And that's why Chelsea got away with this. And then that's how these guys managed to win the FIFA Club World Cup. And I thought that was a joke, kind of it. Because Chelsea avoided Bayern, Real Madrid. And the worst of all, keeping clean sheets in the most of these games. And that was a joke. This is why a lot of people kind of don't like the FIFA Club World Cup and are jealous and kind of hate Chelsea more. Listen, if Chelsea would have played Bayern, all because Benfica didn't want to play PSG in the quarters, well, listen, I don't think you would have played PSG in the quarters. I think Flamengo would have beaten them. Would have beaten you guys. And yeah, they had to rest up everyone. Okay, they didn't rest up as much as they should. Jorginho got the assist. And then for Flamengo, if Bayern would have knocked out Chelsea, in my opinion. And who knows, maybe the FIFA Club World Cup final would have been Bayern versus PSG, likely. And yeah, you could say maybe, Flamengo would have been knocked out by PSG. The Club World Cup would have been different. Bayern would have been declared a home team, so it was likely PSG would have to wear the away kit. Either way, or I don't know if dark blue could go against red. Bayern, we've seen this before. They just did that. Was PSG wearing the home kit? But yeah, it should have been them. And I thought the FIFA Club World Cup might have just been fixed, honestly, a little bit, especially for this game. Bayern were getting more rest. All they needed was to bloody draw that game. And Sané will miss a 1v1 chance, so he might be an enemy for a lot of people. And I thought that was a stupid approach by Benfica. Okay, Benfica technically they needed to kind of win. I mean, they didn't have to win. It was just a must not lose game because Boca Juniors were doing nothing against Auckland. And you had a better goal difference of 6. Them, they had a minus goal difference of 1. Boca Juniors. And that happened the same day as well. And I know the FIFA Club World Cup, there were some fun matches, of course. But it should have been them. It should have been PSG Bayern Munich final. That's what the final should have been. Instead of the quarterfinals, that should have been them. Or I think Bayern, they can I think Bayern and PSG can wear their traditional colors. Maybe that game would have been different. Maybe PSG would have won, or maybe the game would have gone to extra time and we probably see more better drama. It probably makes a whole lot of sense. Oh yeah, I forgot Bayern were wearing their 3rd kit that day. Even though I think it's red versus mostly blue and red can go against. It probably would have been different, in my opinion. Even though, yes, you could say Bayern Munich could defeat what's this called? Even though, yes, Bayern, they could likely if they beat Chelsea, we all know they would take down Palmeiras. We all know they would take down Fluminense. But the problem, Vincent Company, they could have gotten an easy bracket themselves. And they could have knocked out Chelsea. And Flamengo would have played Benfica. And Flamengo would have knocked out Benfica by then, likely. Or maybe the game would have been tight. But I think Flamengo would have won by a goal. And then maybe the quarterfinals, they probably would lose in Atlanta. And of course, yeah, Flamengo would have gotten less rest. That match would have happened. Instead of PSG Bayern. I mean, of course it would happen in the final, but not in the quarterfinals. We could have saw that. Not in the quarterfinals. In the bloody final itself. That probably would have made a whole lot of sense. And I know Flamengo wouldn't have won it. We could have gone to Flamengo for the Men's final. Who knows? Maybe. But of course, Flamengo is going to be hard to take over PSG itself. And maybe, but yeah. But Flamengo got robbed. They had to play Bayern instead. They lose 4-2. Unfortunately, this was a bad start, and they were just making a little bit too much mistakes, and they just gave up, couldn't put the own goal to pressure. And listen, Flamengo didn't play too bad, but unfortunately, they conceded almost all the shots in open play. They couldn't save. They only just 4 shots on target. And Flamengo, of course, with 3 shots on target, only 1 from open play, couldn't convert. It's just disappointing, honestly. They got eliminated. Unfortunately, yeah, Flamengo had to say goodbye. And this is just ridiculous. Flamengo will get a 2-week break. They beat Sao Paulo 2-0. And Sao Paulo got their new coach, even though they were defending well for their lives. 9 shots on target, 10 shots on target to 0. Should have been way more, but they did make it 2-0. But I thought this should have been way more. I thought this should have been 3 or 4-0 at best, at minimum, even if they had. But yeah, 2-0. The goalkeeper had a fantastic game. Rafael, he did everything to not concede. Rossi, he didn't do nothing almost throughout this game because it's hard. You can go to your half, basically. But yeah, Flamengo would beat Chelsea. Flamengo would lose to Santos away, which I'm worried. Neymar, he showed up in this game. And unfortunately for Flamengo, they didn't play that well, honestly. But Neymar, Santos, they took advantage. They showed heart. No one gave Santos a chance. And he scores the winner. And that was by far the biggest victory Santos has. And Santos, maybe, who knows? If they get Gabriel Barbosa, and if he cooks, maybe like 2 or 3 more good signings, watch out for them in the Sudamericana. These guys might actually do something, in my opinion. But yeah, it's likely Neymar is staying with Santos. I don't think he's going with Santos. And then here comes the 4th fla flu of the year in the league in the first half. Pedro getting late winner. Flamengo, Filipe Luis kind of had problems, struggling to score. This wasn't a great game, but Pedro saved them as a hero. He came off the bench. El Pelo Largo gets cooked, stinker and hooked. Along Martinelli, even though he was the most fouled, because this guy's Pedro did get booked for taking off his shirts. Even though it wasn't about the belly of this kid, it was just the nurse shirt on top. He just whatever said Jesus, and then gets booked. But yeah, Flamengo, they knew they just need to control the ball, which Fluminense, they were not going to do anything. And it was only at 74% capacity. Should have been way more, right? So, I mean, it should have been way more, kind of ish. They were clinical.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, go ahead.
Yeah, Flamengo just lost few games. Although you were really much a fan of Flamengo, right?
And even though I'm wearing the Santos shirt, at this point, yes, I do watching their games. Cooler. Yo, ATA, big up to you. Salute you. Smash up the likes. Don't forget to subscribe. Yo, Cooler. I want to mention about the FIFA Club World Cup because, honestly, you think the FIFA Club World Cup might have been rigged because Flamengo kind of got robbed. They had to play Bayern instead of Benfica. And then Chelsea got that easy route and convinced everyone why they're world champions. Because I'm just getting more suspicious day by day. Because Flamengo, I know they were not going to win it, but they should have gone to the quarterfinals at least. I knew they were going to have to play PSG again. I mean, Flamengo and PSG could have clashed twice this year in the quarterfinals of the Club World Cup and Intercontinental Cup. They could have clashed. But we all know FIFA's corruption. So what are we saying about that? Oh, big up, Eddie. If you want to see the link, yeah, the link is up there. Everyone, like up the stream. Facts. Notifications. Don't miss. Chelsea had the easy fun in the final. Yeah, they did. And you know what? I think that Bayern-Benfica game, yeah, subscribe. What's up, Cooler? But yeah, big up, Cooler. That bracket, bro, if Bayern, that should have been Bayern-Chelsea. And I think this FIFA Club World Cup would have been Bayern versus PSG. In my opinion, that should have been Bayern versus PSG, even if Inter Milan, Man City get knocked down around 16. That should have been Bayern's route. And they probably would have knocked out Chelsea. And then they punched Palmeiras, Fluminense. And then PSG's weakness against Chelsea didn't have to happen. Maybe the PSG-Bayern game would have been a lot more dramatically. And PSG-Flamengo would have happened in the quarterfinals. Touchdown. Atlanta. 30-17, if I'm correct. They did. They've scored from open play. Get him to 3:30. Sorry, I won't be joining tonight. Yo, Blue, big up. Why not? Even though I'm asking Cooler about the Club World Cup. But yeah, and I know Flamengo got this 2-1 win against Bragantino. But yeah, I know they probably would have postponed the game against Sao Paulo further. And probably October, that game probably would have been postponed. Even though Flamengo would have been missing a few players, maybe. But yeah, Flamengo should have played Benfica, they should have been in the quarterfinals. Chelsea would have been eliminated in round 16. But yeah, I'm just getting more suspicious. I'm not going to lie about the FIFA Club World Cup. Because we got to hear about all this nonsense, and this is just giving me a little bit too much. I'm not going to lie. And this is no against Chelsea, but just saying. This is why I chose the Intercontinental Cup, even though FIFA dramatically has questions about that. But yeah, FIFA, bro, I swear. Yeah, Bragantino would score 1. And if I knew Flamengo were going to come back and win this game. I knew a remontada was coming. Especially if Palmeiras defeated Fluminense because Fluminense played bad. They only want to turn up for one game as well. But yeah, the FIFA Club World Cup, I'm not going to lie. Question decisions. I don't agree with this. And I hope maybe like Santos, I don't know, maybe like I don't know, maybe Cruzeiro would have done something this tournament. Maybe they would have gone to the semifinals as well. And even though Fluminense would have gotten at least an easy path, of course, by eliminating Alejandro themselves to make it to semis, because Inter Milan were crap. Inter are frauds. Now got to hear about this FIFA Club World Cup for the next, few years. And they did this back in the year 2000 as well. With that tournament as well. They did this in 2000. Now they're going to do it again in 2029. And I might have to do a stream or video about the FIFA Club World Cup / Intercontinental Cup. We might have to do a stream about that next week into the new year. Because I'm getting suspicious, honestly. All these results, I'm not going to lie. But yeah, I don't know what FIFA's doing. What are they trying to hide? Why are they chasing the pound notes so much? Like, don't you have enough? But yeah, Flamengo, they played pretty much a lot of big teams. They played Chelsea. They played Bayern. They played PSG. They played Cruz Azul. Too bad we couldn't get Club America. As FIFA was trying to invite them, even though they couldn't beat. They were minutes away from beating LAFC. Even though they can't score from open play, they got a penalty, and these guys would go ahead and lose. But yeah, we'll just never know. And this happened in our bloody ground in the U.S. Needs to be questionable. Flamengo would beat Atletico Mineiro at home. They would play them 3 times in the span of 10 days. 10 days. They beat them in the league. Late winner. 67th minute winner. No, 75th minute. Leo Ortiz. Mango gets their leadership. And then they get a 66th. San Marino makes his debut. And Flamengo didn't play that well, despite being the same opposition. But yeah, they would host Atletico Mineiro, the Chickens, for the first time since the Copa do Brazil defeat final. Unfortunately, they drew 1-1 Serie A. They beat Atletico Mineiro at their ground, holding on for pens, and unfortunately, they lost. And guess who missed? Wallace Jan sadly missed, and Everson, he corrected himself, and this was a joke. I can't lie. And unfortunately for Flamengo, Filipe Luis, the run would come to an end in the Copa do Brazil. Atletico Mineiro gets revenge. All because they were not playing that well in the first leg. And they should have been drawn. They probably would have won this game. And unfortunately, their penalty kicks. This wasn't the first time they went to pens this year. Last year, they didn't even went to pens. This year, they went to pens. And they lost. They lost. Unfortunately. They lost twice. They didn't win that. This wasn't sustainable. Atletico Mineiro would miss, but San Marino sadly missed as well. Wallace Jan would miss. They missed back-to-back penalties that cost them, and they thought Flamengo would go 3-2 up. Instead, they lose 4-3. They thought they would win at least 5-4 or 4-5 or 4-3, but they missed. It was a much better performance by Atletico Mineiro. They were trying to park the bus for pens as well because these guys were getting outplayed. And even though Atletico Mineiro were converted shots, but it was too late. So yeah, so I was disappointed that they got eliminated. They got eliminated Copa do Brazil final, Copa do Brazil round 16. In August, another competition they would go out, and this was disappointing for Flamengo because they wouldn't win the treble and they wouldn't keep for Copa do Brazil, even though they won it last year. But disappointing. I'm sure that players that want to win the back-to-back. But yeah, one less competition. They have to force them to abandon Copa do Brazil, which is fine, I guess, because they'll just chase for they will just chase, they'll just chase for the league instead in Libertadores with 2 competitions left, even though they could still enter the Intercontinental Cup, like I mentioned. To 1 win against Mirassol. And by the way, this is the same stadium that Chelsea defeated LAFC 2-0 in this game, in this stadium, in this bloody stadium. The same bloody stadium, Mercedes-Benz Stadium. So mixed feelings for these events, bro. The Atlanta Falcons, bro. And don't forget, Man City, Holland scored a hat-trick back in June against Al Ain, and I thought Man City, even they should have been in the final. We could have gone to Man City Bayern semifinals. A lot of people predicted this match to happen. I predicted it as well. But it's just stupid that we could have gone to Man City PSG final. But another Man City Real Madrid final would have been like another matchup between Man City and Real Madrid. Like Man City Real Madrid is just going to happen every single year from now on. Every single season. They beat Mirassol 2-1. And guess what? In August, in the second half, they would have to play Internacional 3 times in a row. You want to know why? The round of 16 Libertadores of Brazil, 2-legged tie, and has won the league 3 times in a row. They have to play the same opponent. So Filipe Luis doesn't have to change much of the tactics, but as well trying to. And then Flamengo gets a 1-0 win against Internacional. And as well trying to do as well to get the pathway to win not only the trophy, but to win to meet PSG. That 4 shots on her to the second half performance just dipped. Stays 1-0. Flamengo Internacional 0 in the Libertadores. And then already Internacional again. They have to play them again, this time in the league to get all 3 points. And they did. They went 3-0 up by 62 minutes. They played really well in the first 12 minutes. They went 2-0 up. And then they were 3-0 up. Game was over. And then Internacional gets one back, but it's too late. These guys, bro. And then yes, in Porto Alegre in the league. But yeah, they had to play them 3 times in a row. And Filipe Luis owned them. Get the aggregate score in the Libertadores was technically 3-0. But if you count the league game, 6-1. 6-1. And they would go ahead and beat them again 2-0, eliminate from the competition in the same stadium, same arena. And the Internacional fans, they didn't show up as much as they did in the Libertadores. They did show up more. They were saying, see you on Wednesday. See you on Wednesday. Remontada's coming. They did absolutely nothing. Inter Valencia would leave. 1 shot on target. But yeah, and these guys would lose 2-0. Ascayeto would score away from home. They thought they were going to do something. They told people they were going to do something. Look at this. Oh, wait, this one was also mostly filled. Fair enough. I thought it wasn't. Oh wait, no, this is American. Shoot, I forgot. But yeah, there was like 3 games in a row. All right, let me see. Let me see if they showed up less. Look, they didn't show up as much as the Libertadores, and then the same crowd, but more people. They showed up and they got eliminated. And things would only get worse for Roberto of freaking Internacional. Or this guy, Rogers, Marin. This guy wouldn't get the best of the tactics, bro. He would leave because it was time to let him go. Because he knew he was not good enough. And yes, there's could be more. But yeah, 6-1, 6-1. They would lose. Internacional. And then look. And then, yeah, after defeating them, finally, they would get a rest, get a break till Monday. And guess what? Flamengo gets their biggest victory ever. 8-0 win against Victoria. 8 goals. 7 open play goals, 1 penalty. This was the biggest result of Filipe Luis's era. 8-0. And Victoria, I thought they could have gotten relegated. And these guys wouldn't lose a game. They wouldn't lose a game. Look at this. They finished first. And Victoria escaped relegation, finishing above Internacional, and they lost 8-0. They still got away with it, W versus W, because Victoria wouldn't matter. Even though Victoria, they would lose the cup against Bahia, in my opinion. I think they lost the Bahia Cup, I think. Or did Victoria won that? I forgot. Oh, touchdown, LA. 23-24. Oh, they've just tied it. And they're about to tie it. All they need is to score. And yeah. That was embarrassing. That was embarrassing. No. Come on, Google. Stupid freaking Google. Trying to log me out. Stupid fucking Google. Stupid fucking Google. Leave me alone. Stop signing me out. No, I don't care about stupid. What a joke. Like everything is just getting stupid. Now it looks like StreamYard is now behaving finally. Let me see if these guys played in the Bahia Cup. Yes, they would, and they lose. They didn't win a single trophy. These guys, and they lost 8-0. But yeah, Flamengo gave them the batter of belts to you know what. Worse than anything else. They beat Mirasol 2-1. One of the, the better teams, of course, Mirasol. With, the big, what's this called? Comeback. Gabriel would score against them, but he doesn't celebrate. Giving Flamengo a good game. This was a tough game. Mirasol was going bang to bang. The 8 shots on her, but the keeper had a great game. So, yeah. And he had a great game for Mirasol, and this is why Mirasol will be playing Libertadores. I'm excited. This is why I'm having pineapple juice or water to represent them. I like watching Mirasol. Bring me a kid. Watch out for them. Don't underestimate me, even though Palmeiras, they'll probably play better now. And then Flamengo would play Internacional 1-0. Oh, wait, no, I already did that. My bad. And then like a few days later at the Maracanã on Sunday, Flamengo drew Grêmio. Someone gave away a penalty, apparently, and the referee decided to check that there was nothing there. Referee, you're home? You're home? You're here? You're back in Ireland? Are you ready to join the stream? Yes. I'm still alive. You're not going to bed? Cool. Let me know unless you're tired or you just want to watch the stream. Someone gave away a penalty. Grêmio did not score from open play. They let Volpe score, the former Toluca goalkeeper, who's now happy that his former club won more than Gremio. They didn't even have a chance in open play. So it's a penalty. He missed that penalty against Cruz Azul last year. I think there was like a 2-1 loss or a 1-0 loss. I forgot the scoreline. But he goes ahead and scores like that. You guys should have lost. This should have been 2-0 for Flamengo, in my opinion. This game should have been 2-0, even though Volpe had a great game. Or this should have been just 1-0 or 2-0, because these guys didn't did anything in open play on target, in my opinion. I'll watch. Too tired to join. But are you gonna be here tomorrow for the Brazilian League one, which I might do the Brazilian League, of course. But I might try to do it early, in my opinion, because we're going to talk about the Brazilian League. We will be hosting another live stream on the main channel. We will be doing a New Year's count-along, part 1 and part 2, on Wednesday. So get ready. Tomorrow on the Brazilian channel, it's a match day. Will you be joining during the game? I might do it around maybe 10:30 p.m. a.m. my bad, which is 6:30 UK time, just before the match, and they just had the game, LA. Maybe. And we might be here for a while. Maybe. If not, I might do a stream maybe around 11 p.m. UK time, 3 p.m. for me. Maybe I might do that. Even though I got to keep an eye on Villa Arsenal. Arsenal Villa, of course. So it's a huge game, of course. So, yeah, I'm trying to do everything. So, yeah. Ascaeta scores that. But, yeah, the game ends in a 1-1 draw. They beat UB2 2-0. This was a quarter match. They beat Estudiantes 2-1. But this was unfortunately controversial, this game. They went 2-0 up. Pedro scored in the first minute. Valera scored in the second. And Flamengo were cruising in the first 10 minutes. I thought they should have gone 3-0 up. And it should have been there. But you want to know what happened? The referee. Guess what happened with the stupid referees from Condobol? They screwed up this game. And I know Flamengo, Filipe Luis wasn't playing that well, even though he should be 3-0. I thought your attack score down. Plata would get sent off. Even though I don't think that was a red card, the guy didn't even have a touch to the player. He got the ball and he still sent him off. And then they would score an open play goal the 90th minute. And apparently he might have been offside and they give the goal in Flamengo. I thought they were cheated by the refs. If we lose to Wolves, you will be furious, right? Super furious, right? You're not, because you can't afford to lose to Wolves, right? But yeah, maybe I might go live either, like I said, 6:30 p.m. England time or 11 p.m. Those are my two decisions. But we will be doing a count along, so you can join as well for that on the main channel. But I'll join the Brazilian channel. It's almost 4 a.m. in Ireland, right? Hopefully you get some rested. But yeah, these guys didn't score from open play. Plata gets a red card, gets sent off. Stupid. Plata would have gotten sent off, even though the refs were inconsistent. And then Estudiantes, even though the goal might not even happen from open play, it might have been an own goal from Leo Ortiz, apparently. Liv Herrera had a chance at them, but it was too late. It might have been Liv Herrera with the own goal. He scored an own goal. This guy didn't even score from open play. What is he talking about? Gaia, the last touch. He didn't even got a touch to the ball. And then I thought they were trying. Estudiantes might have been cheated. I thought the stream till said live till 2027. No. Oh my goodness. I could have been, but how? There's no like powerful sites yet. So maybe I might do it in like 10 years from now. I don't know. But I'm saying Filipe Luis will be staying here till December 2027. The guy frozen on the top. Am I tripping? Yeah, it's just crazy. Yeah, for Filipe Luis, he's staying until 2027. The format led Chelsea. And then River Plate, absolute scrubs. But yeah, this is a. But yeah, might not have been from open play, which I'm also going to get to Mirasol tactically because I don't want to forget about it. So apparently Mirasol, Fluminense last month as well, they didn't score a goal from open play themselves. It was an own goal. This guy didn't even have a touch to it, or was it from open play? And then wasn't there a red card as well? No, I thought there was a red card in the first 3 minutes. And then he gets the assist. Where's Mirasol? Did someone got substitution early? And then the guy gets an assist and he puts the goal. It was from open play. Victor, if you let him score from open play, stinker and hooked. One of you guys. This guy's responsible for the goal as well. They don't mention that. What a joke. Fabio didn't have nothing to do. You know me, that's so we're pushing. But yeah, of course. 2 shots on target. They were in your box. But yeah, that was Mirasol. That was a joke anyways. I didn't agree. 7 comments tell me. Oh, Miss Molina, big up. Mel, big up to you. You think you do expect a win? You expect you can give Aston Villa their first loss in like 11 games? You are happy they beat Chelsea, but when they're playing Arsenal tomorrow, you want Arsenal to win. So you have to defeat. Yeah, it's a massive one because we saw what happened to Emirates. This crazy fire. Going from 2-0 up and then to bottling it. Under the home fan. And the A derby, it's called. Arsenal Villa is a huge one. Your prediction is 3-2 Arsenal, which they did. They score a goal, but it was ruled out offside. I think it was Kai Havertz. He thought he got a touch to it. He thought he got a winner. But no, he was offside. He thought he won them the game. But no, he didn't. And this game was similar to Mirasol Vasco, almost. The 3-2. What was your thought? You remember that, which we might review it, but yeah. Yeah, the refs, they were crazy, bro. And then after that, they drew 1-1 with Vasco, unfortunately. This team, they didn't play well, and I thought this was embarrassing. Vasco played really well with Flamengo. Didn't, because Vasco they shouldn't even be getting draws. And Flamengo, they didn't play that well. They played much better against Palmeiras, but against Vasco, your biggest customer, they would do everything. So, and you let them hold on a draw again? It's embarrassing at the Maracanã. Letting them have more shots on target is a joke. They missed everything. None of them were even on target. Not all of them were target. But yeah. You hope Ezra scores 2-1. But yeah, this was embarrassing. Ryan is a baller, but this was embarrassing in my opinion. A little bit. Because Vasco are trash. But they would always show up against Flamengo. But they will open up their legs against Flamengo's bend over. And yeah, Ryan is goal. Got a scout, puts it in. Taps it in for Clásico de Millones as he is the Gatascal is a baller. And this is why in Mexico they have to learn from Yeah, yeah, it was 1-1 in that game. 1-1. Unfortunately, this was disappointing. And then the second leg in Argentina was so annoying that Rossi gives away a free goal just before halftime, and then Flamengo would have to go on penalties. They tied the game 2-2, and Flamengo couldn't equalize, and they could have chances where Estudiantes could have won this game. This could have gone to pens. And yes, this was likely going to go penalties. This could have not gone to. They could have just advanced with a draw. All they needed was a draw. And unfortunately, where's the result? But here's the thing for Flamengo. At least they scored all their pens. Rossi stopped 2 pens. Or at least 1 pen. As they pour it. I don't know. Adam, you think Sevilla could be Flamengo? Who's that? Seagull Rovers. Who's that? Is that a club from Ireland? From your hometown? Or who are they? I never heard of this team. Well, probably no. Maybe the E team, yeah. But I don't. But nowhere near the A team. But yeah, this guy missed the penalty, and yeah, Flamengo would advance to the semifinals. They need to go on pens. This was the second penalty shootout, and yeah, this was just a bit disappointing. Oh, and Atlanta would score the slight touchdown. Now they're about to win it. LA were just not good enough. Is it LA Rams or LA Chargers? I don't know if it's both. But yeah, these guys would go ahead and unfortunately, yeah, they would lose 1-0. I thought that was a joke. These guys would lose 1-0 at home. 1-0, but yeah, for Filipe Luis, but they still couldn't catch a break because they would have to play Corinthians. And then unfortunately, Blue, they beaten you. Unfortunately, they beaten you at your ground, giving them another loss at home. Search them up. But who are they? Tell me. Maybe they could be Vasco. Maybe. But Flamengo, I don't think so. With all due respect, because they're likely having no quality. Yeah, they're from Ireland, called Seagull, Ireland, which is a town far away from Dublin, not far from the Northern Ireland border, the oceans of the river, the Northern Irish border. Oh, tackle. Yeah. Oh, you live there? Oh, interesting. So you're back home? You just came back from the airport from Dublin, right? Gateway to Athletic Way. Well, Seagull Rovers, I don't think they beat Flamengo. Realistically, no. Might have an okay team. I would want to know about your squad. I see you guys drew 3-3 with Everton, the main Everton team. That was a big one. You guys just played Everton, Liverpool's crosstown rivals. You remember that 3-3 draw in a friendly. Did you went to that game? That one was massive for the community. And you know who's Everton, right? Everton, as we call them in Portuguese. We beat them a few years ago, if you heard of it. I never heard of them. It's because the Irish League, it's not being talked about enough. I mean, it should be, even though I think the Irish League, of course, is distracted of the power of the Premier League, so that's why it's not talked about. I mean, it should. But yeah, Mike, it's Blue. They beat you, unfortunately. They beat you. What was your thoughts? You had the better shots. Flamengo were just more clinical. 2 open play goals, sadly. You gave up a penalty. You guys couldn't score that. Corinthians, Roberto missed the pen. Could have been 2-0. But yeah, and Flamengo, I knew a winner was coming. Yeah, what are your thoughts? And then, yeah. And then a few days later, they would have to host Cruzeiro. And Cruzeiro got away with a 0-0 draw. Flamengo couldn't score from open play. They might have been getting outplayed despite getting the ball. They got them 5 shots on target. These guys were not good enough on target. Cruzeiro were just playing a low block, just countering. They kind of did, and Rossi made some big saves that could have won it, a couple of headers. But these guys were going on target. Cal Jardine had an opportunity who couldn't off the post. They looked more dangerous to get the bloody goals. Cal Jardine was playing. This was not sustainable for Flamengo, for Filipe Luis. They could have at least gotten a 1-0 win. We all know Cruzeiro was going to be tough. They did 2026 one day. Okay. All right. Yeah, we'll have. But yeah, this was a disappointing loss for Filipe Luis and Flamengo. But unfortunately, with that game, Palmeiras, they did. Vasco gifted them the win. And then at this day, it was the anti-Corinthians derby, São Paulo, Palmeiras, the anti-Corinthians derby. You know, these two teams. And then Palmeiras were 2-0 down, and they came back and won. And they had the refs on their side, no surprise. And unfortunately for Flamengo, they went down to 9 men because of the referee corruption at that time. And when Palmeiras would get, above the points, they would win everything. And yeah, and it's full time, 27-24. Atlanta Falcons, 27. LA Chargers, 24. Or LA Rams, my bad. Oh, no, those are the Rams. I thought that was Chargers. My bad, it's Rams. That's embarrassing. That's a joke. And then they went down to 9 men. Wallace Young got sent off. Yeah, these refs, bro, they've been absolutely jokers. Absolute jokers. Absolute jokers. I'm not excited. He's very disappeared. Just kidding. But yeah, the refs, bro, they helped Palmeiras kind of, unfortunately. And Filipe Luis, what he could do. Danilo got sent off. It was a joke, bro. But yeah, they did got to win. These guys would score before halftime. This game should have ended with 0-0 at least. And then Flamengo, they played really well. Okay, 9 men. They just couldn't be clinical, of course. And William Jose gets the bloody winner. The freaking Brighton/Arsenal puppet, William Jose. Sociedad, who probably will be Flamengo's worst and disliked club from Spain, from the Basque Country. Had to bloody score. What a joke. Even though he's been good for Bahia, even though he was at Betis, but he plays for Sociedad, who are puppets from Arsenal, who even Sociedad, they look similar to Vasco, and we all know Flamengo's biggest enemy. These two teams want to get along, and they had to let him score. That was a joke. And then don't forget, he was at Real Madrid's Castilla. Oh, he was at Real Madrid's youth team, and he was at Santos. Oh, I forgot. He was at Santos. But he did nothing. Went to São Paulo. This guy could have played for Flamengo, but he chose these clubs instead, and now he's at Bahia, the main guy. And he had to cook him, and then he managed to win the trophy. Bahia will not go trophy. I hate British refs. The English ones, they don't help either, bro. But the Brazilian refs, Palmeiras, the pigs, bro, the refs, bro, they helped them to win it. What a joke. And then William Jose, who played for Sociedad, you probably won't like this team. I know you guys knocked them out of the Europa League 5-2 when they were trying to use those brown envelope goal kicks. He won the bloody Copa del Rey, I think, or I could be wrong. I think he left in January 2021. Oh yeah, I went to Wolves for a bit, technically, and then played for Real Betis. That's true for a little bit until June 2024. He was with before Anthony joined Betis. Oh, you're here, Luis. Oh, good evening. There's the link in the pub stream in the pin comments. You're welcome to join.
And
But pick up.
and hey, if you're new to this channel, or if you're still a member, make sure to subscribe to Gasatosi 100. Get in 330.
Yeah, absolutely. Facts. And guess what, Luis? Besides that, we have to talk about this guy, William Jose. He has to score against Flamengo before halftime. And unfortunately, this helps the Piggies. And he played for the Arsenal Puppets. And you know who? Who's similar to Vasco. And this was ridiculous. I find it ridiculous. It shouldn't even be happening. Look at this.
And yes, also get
What's your
his second
response?
shovel. And also get him 125 subscribers
Yep.
on his second shovel.
Yeah, absolutely. But I need to say this, Luis, before you want to join or said anything, look, he played for those Arsenal Puppets, and he scored against Flamengo and these Vascaínos and Palmeirenses. We're joining together with those Arsenal Puppets. That was a joke. It shouldn't be happening. And then the refs as well, the refs. Oh, my days. These guys would have gotten away with these. It's a joke, even though you kind of took Palmeiras a bit. But this is why Bahia would drop off of interest from Flamengo fans. They start to annoy them because these guys start to be annoying. And he played for those Arsenal Puppets. Why? 3-1. Sharks? Yeah, get in. Oh hell nah. Shark is Barcelona superstar.
Hell no, what? I
We're
thought you
winning.
were cheering for them, but you just decided to say, "Oh hell nah." Oh,
Oh, the no, we're talking about the Arsenal Puppets, but the 3-1 is is my club. The Sharks are winning. Come on, I need to get that shirt. Honestly, I need to get that jersey. With the second part, 13 minutes in. Okay, and we're away at Anaheim in LA. This LA Kings is crosstown rivals, basically the Ducks. Come on, we beat Vancouver away. Can we get back-to-back wins? Even though I can't get access to the game, unfortunately. It's a joke. I gotta pay up more. Oh my days. This is why I couldn't find a way to watch the Sharks. Let me see if I could put on ESPN Plus. Ah, come on. What a joke. Big up, Kevin. Oh, yo, Dax. I forgot to send you the link. Join in. It's in the public chat. There hasn't been a single troll. And Luis, you're welcome to join. I know it's late, but yeah. This guy, of all of him, had to bloody score. What a joke. But yeah, and then the refs, screw them. This was a match to forget. Even though it won't matter, Flamengo would win. But yeah, those Arsenal Puppets, this guy. More worse than KSI is an absolute joke. Basically, Sociedad that are good friends with Vasco, who are good friends with Palmeiras. And Palmeiras don't even make sense. And then after the international break, they bounce back against Botafogo. Despite drawing 0-0, doesn't mean that Botafogo would win at home. They got slapped up 3-0. They can't even score from open play. Botafogo is disintegrated at 5 shots on target. This is similar to the Club World Cup. 5 shots on target to 5, but one of them would win 3-0 with the open space they were given. And this is why they won't learn from each of them. Okay, big up. Big up, Miss Molina. Hold on, before I see. This was similar to the Club World Cup, I know. Because of the similar shots on target, bro. The possession is different, I guess. Pedro, Luis, Plata, they all slapped on the dog. And yes, Botafogo were not a serious club. And even though they should have beaten Vasco, I could have gotten a wooden spoon out, but I didn't. But hey, At least the job was almost done, and Dax is here. Say hi to Dax.
What's up, y'all? I'm here.
Hey,
Yo,
Dax.
What's up, man?
Yeah, sorry if I didn't send you the link because I could have just put because it just take me a while. But even though I'm still live, I thought would have been in the stream. We were just doing the season review about Flamengo, and we were talking about some of the negative things. That could have been even better, but even though they did enough to compensate like an A.
Alright.
So yeah, Botafogo 3, Flamengo no, vice versa. Flamengo 3, Botafogo no. And yes, and then the stupid piggies won 5-1 that day, October 15th. Well, yeah, Botafogo. These guys were not good enough to score.
Yeah.
And then here's the big one, Dax and everyone. Hold on, let me read the comments. This will be their second game against Palmeiras, and they win 3-2. But this game was a lot closer than I thought. This game was a lot closer, Dax, and everyone. Look, Flamengo went 1-0. Vascaeta scores like a good ball from Pedro. And then Palmeiras, they would equalize the stupid piggies. No. And then Pedro would make a run in the open play just before the 45th minute, 42nd minute, or at the 39th minute. They win a penalty. The whole stadium was erupting. Ah! And that was enough. The referee was alerted. That's a pen. Jorginho puts it in, makes it 2-1. And then another run, and they would score again in open play, going 3-1 up. They were saying, yes. And then, like the Hulk, the monster. And Palmeiras had the better shots. They were the better team, and these guys couldn't do it. Carlos Miguel made his debut because Weberton was not good enough. And it was just good enough. But the problem is for Flamengo, I thought Palmeiras played really well. These scrubs wouldn't give up, and then they trust the process. And unfortunately for the second half, I would say they just controlled the game. Yes, the link is in the pin chat, guys. Unfortunately for the second half, Flamengo just controlled the second half. It was control. And then Palmeiras, stupid Gomez would go ahead and Gustavo Gomez would score, but it was too late. It was the last minute. It doesn't matter. So it was the right time to concede. Even though I think they should have kept it at 3-1, honestly. I know the game was already won just because of the goal difference, maybe. Even though at this point it wouldn't matter. But this was an important victory because they would tie Palmeiras in the leadership after them robbing São Paulo 2 weeks earlier on the October 19th.
Yeah.
Can you say October 19th?
October 19th.
Yes. This was the game that this was the huge one. And they win at the Maracanã, and yes, Flamengo would own Palmeiras twice. And Aldo Pereira may have gotten better, may get 2 open play goals. Wouldn't be enough. Flamengo were just more clinical, even though they may have gotten less chances. Just like against the Corinthians game. But this one looked a little bit closer. But in the second leg, the first leg, they kept a clean sheet against both Palmeiras and Corinthians. But in the second leg, it was a lot closer. Instead of winning by 2 goals or 4 goals, they only win by a goal, and they did have to concede. Similar, this game reminds me Bayern Inter. Kevin, Bayern Inter was similar to that. If you're still in the chat. And Luis, let me know the scoreline of the goals. Still 3-1, good. But yeah, this was the big game. Flamengo wins, they advance. And then Flamengo would have to play Racing Racing Club a few days later on a Wednesday. This is technically on Wednesday. Flamengo gets a 1-0 win against Racing. And this game wasn't that great at all. Racing only had 1 shot in open play. Ontario Rossi saved it. And everyone else missed their shots. They only had 4 shots all game. They missed it. It was going nowhere near the goal. And yeah, Racing got away. They're saying Carrascal's goal might not have been might have been an own goal, or it might not have been from open play. But yeah, he got the goal. But they're saying Rojo scored an own goal, even though I think it's from open play. I think Carrascal got a touch. It's that another game that the guy did wasn't from open play, in my opinion. And they gave that. I thought that was a joke. They're saying Marcos Rojas scored an own goal. They're saying Carrascal didn't got a touch to it when he did. The most fouls, that's true. The most duels, I mean, that's also true. But he also won them the game. At the 80th minute, he scored the winner. It went here, not out wide. Why didn't he score from open play? Or was it the 60th minute?
No idea.
They're saying it wasn't on goal. They're saying that he didn't score from open play. Where was it? I thought Carrascal got the winner. They're saying it was an own goal. They didn't score from open play. It's a joke. I think it's from open play. You think the game would have ended 0-0? Nah. Get out of here.
Yeah, get out of here.
If it wasn't for him, he would have lost. They would have lost by now then. They wouldn't have scored that goal. I have no idea what they're saying. I think it was an open play goal. But I don't get it how that's an own goal.
Yeah.
Then he just taps it in. And this isn't going to be the only own goal. But that's ridiculous. And Flamengo would beat Racing Club the fall. And then like after this game, Flamengo would have to play Fortaleza away. And this was a fluky game, unfortunately. They played bad in this one. They lose 1-0. Flamengo had most of the possessions. They played bad. They had so many shots and they missed so many of them were off target. Only 3 open play shots all game. Lopez gets 1, he scores it. And that was ridiculous. Rossi.
Yeah.
Look at these. These shots were getting blocked. Fortaleza played really well, but these guys played bad. John, these guys couldn't score from open play. These guys played really bad. And they lose 1-0. This was a huge upset. This was a bad performance.
Yep.
I was not happy, and then because Palmeiras would win, but luckily for Palmeiras, they drew 0-0 with Cruzeiro because Cruzeiro. They help you to secure the title a bit more, so you can thank them. You can thank the Foxes, and then you were only 1 point behind. But it was just disappointing. How did you lose to Fortaleza? And I thought Filipe Luis's subs were not great in that game, honestly. Yeah, I brought Jorginho, of course, and of course he wants rest up players for Racing as well. But it was just not stable. I get it. Everton was injured. Pedro had a broken arm again. A few weeks. Eric Pulga suspended. Carrascal got suspended for this game as well. How was he suspended? Did he pick up a yellow card? That's a joke.
Yeah, how, man?
Fortaleza, they did have 2 players suspended. They have injuries, and they still lost. I thought this should have been a draw. This is a joke. And then they had to play in Argentina the second leg. Guess what? It ended 0-0. Flamengo advanced to the final, but guess what? Palmeiras would lose 3-0 in the first leg in El Quito, but in Ecuador. Guess what? The referee decided to send Plata off again. 3 games.
Oh, damn.
After that game against Estudiantes, they send them off again. What a joke. And Flamengo had to play Harambol. I thought this was going to be a 1-1 draw. It ended 0-0. Plata got sent off. And the guy wasn't even having foul contact. It was a disgrace. They sent them off.
Exactly.
What a joke. Playing haram ball. Look at the substitutions. Haram ball. Playing defensively. All
You
things
know
to do.
what?
The ref ruined the game. I know the fans were outed. And I like that here for not keeping it boring. But unfortunately, this game could have been better. But the referee ruined it. We could have gotten an open play goal. Maybe Flamengo would have scored. But Flamengo, I thought this was going to be 1-1, but it ended 0-0. And they had to play with 10 men for the rest of the game for 35 minutes. It's a joke, Dax. 40 minutes.
Yeah, it's a freaking joke, man.
But it doesn't matter. Flamengo advanced to the final to Libertadores. Filipe Luis would be in the final. And guess who they would have to face? They were either going to play El de Quito or Palmeiras. And you want to know something?
Yeah.
They would have to play Palmeiras again for the 4th time in a row.
Damn.
No, 3 times in a row. 3rd
Oh,
time
damn.
in the year. Because they came back. El de Quito bottled it. These guys bottled it.
It did.
From 3-0 up to losing the titles to 4-3 on aggregate. 4-0 now. You just reappeared the Barcelona-Liverpool comeback. You did it. All thanks to you. Palmeiras and El de Quito. That was a joke.
It is a joke.
Look at it, guys. And then they would have to play Filipe Luis's Flamengo, which we will know how it will advance. But yeah, it was just a joke. And then Flamengo played haram ball. It doesn't matter. They get the win. Flamengo would play. Flamengo would get a 3-0 win against Sporting Recife. 3-0. Ascaeta scores a free kick banger. 3-0 win. Everton Araujo would have been sent off. Whatever. Everton gets sent off, and Vascaeta scores a free kick at the 67 minutes, and they start to break down Sport Recife's defense. 10 shots on target. These guys only had 2 shots, but they did nothing. Yeah, these guys, they tried. They even had 1 shot outside the box, but Rossi said that was their best chance. This was at minute 87, or I think he might have hit off the crossbar, and Rossi saved it, and then got the ball. And this is why it was just crazy that the game was going to end 0-0. Let's talk about Barcelona. Yeah, I'm going to get into Barcelona in a minute. I just need to clean up Filipe Luis. Real quick.
Yeah.
And then a few days later, they had to play Sao Paulo in Sao Paulo. I mean, technically, it was played at Santos' ground, not at Sao Paulo's ground. You want to know why?
Yeah.
It's because they were remodeling the stadium. And then Sao Paulo, their home fans celebrated an early goal the first 3 minutes. And then Ascaeta. And then guess what? Ascaeta wins the penalty like 2 minutes later, at the 5th minute of the game. And then the referee and the players had an argument. That wasn't a penalty. The Sao Paulo fans were mad. And then Flamengo scored the equalizer 1-1 in this big game. And unfortunately, Flamengo dropped points in the second leg. As always. They struggle to win Sao Paulo. They lose, and then draw now. And then guess what? It stays 1-1. And then guess who wins? And guess who scored the goal? Sam Molina scored. He thought he won it. And he finally scored his first open play goal, I think, for Flamengo against the big team.
Oh, damn.
And they go 2-1 up. And then you want to know, guess who got sent off this time?
What?
Plata got sent off again for the 3rd time in a month.
Damn.
He gets a red card and he gets suspended again. He gets suspended against Santos.
Freaking crazy.
Which is Neymar's team coming. And unfortunately, Plata would get sent off yet again. This was a joke.
That
Yeah,
is a fucking ass joke.
yeah. I'm gonna get into that cooler in just a minute. I just need to finish off Flamengo's this season real quick. But you know what? I do want to talk about Barcelona Sociedad. But yeah, this was a joke. They unfortunately lose. They unfortunately draw points, and then Sao Paulo will equalize. Ferreira scores a banger. No one wanted to mark him. The most fouled. And then for Flamengo, this is disappointing. They were clinical with those two shots. They didn't do much in open play, apparently, but they got those two shots. They were just missing chances. They couldn't score an open play goal. Might hit off the side netting. It was just not good enough. And Sao Paulo, they have more the better shots, but it got saved by Rossi. Can you say Sao Paulo?
Sao Paulo?
Yeah. And then Flamengo would play Santos, the shirt I'm wearing, and of course, technically, as we lost 3-2. But to be fair to Flamengo made two defensive mistakes, and we capitalized 2 goals. And we basically did the same scoreline as Palmeiras. It wasn't sustainable because Santos would lose 2-0 to Palmeiras away before hosting them, and they lose to Flamengo 3-2. We lose to Flamengo. Flamengo went 2-0 up. Pereira would score the open play goal, got a scout, and Bruno Henrique. They thought it was game over, and then Neymar gets subbed off, and then he was saying, "Why me?"
Yeah.
And he got subbed at the 85th minute, and then out of nowhere, Santos scored 2 goals. We scored 2 goals. They've scored 2 goals, or we scored 2 goals, all off the bench. Those mistakes. Vascaeta also missed a penalty in this game. This should have been 4-2. He hits the woodwork. And yeah. And then, but Filipe Luis, I thought that was concerning that they would have lost to Flamengo. I mean, Santos, because they almost dropped points. Mm-hmm. And then, yeah, this was an unfortunate loss. Hold on. But yeah, so they lose to Sporting Recife. They played Sporting away 5-1, and they will go ahead and lose 5-1. They got an important 5-1 win, but they went down to 9 men. They did got a 5-1 win, and as well. By the way, real quick, let me use the restroom real quick, so I'll be right back. Actually,
All right.
and then it's not just the people behind. Hold on, let me use the restroom. But they got a 5-1 win in this one.
All right.
I'm back. I'm back.
Welcome back.
Sorry about your parents' noises. Ignore that.
Yeah, and I had to use the restroom, but yeah, But you want to know what's the crazy part? Sporting Recife, they went down to 9 men. In the span of 5 minutes, 2 guys played dirty tackles and they got sent off. And then Flamengo would go ahead and cook and scored open play goals back to back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4 open play goals in 20 minutes, in 19 minutes. That's incredible. And the game was over. And Sporting would have gone and relegated, and they played really well. And even though I don't think they played really well to the red card, because of how much space they gave up, Bruno Henrique cooked them. They cooked that defender. This guy, stinker and hooked. The ratings went down. Gets a red card. This guy was horrible. The less touches. Damn, this guy was the worst. He was so horrible. Open space. He was not good enough. He got Zulkova, couldn't do anything. Because they were playing defensive. They were not good enough. That's why they were going back to Serie B. What are your thoughts?
I'm not sure.
And then, yeah, they get a 5-1 win. And then you take a break. They would play their last Classico against Fluminense in the derby. And guess what? They lost this game due to Vascaeta not being available because of Uruguay. They lost Galescal. They lost a lot of players due to their international break. It's a joke.
Yeah.
International duty is a joke. There was no Vascaeta in this game. Galescal was back in time, but he looked tired because Colombia 24 hours rest from Miami to Rio. He started. He wasn't good, and then the guy that made the mistake was this young lad, sadly. João Victor, he's only 18 years old. He's a year younger than me. He's a year older than you, Dax. This guy was horrible. He was not good enough. This is why he was taken off at halftime. He was the reason why Fluminense scored those 2 open play goals.
Exactly.
It was a joke, and that might cost them points. Even though they would go ahead and win the league. And Fluminense, these frauds are not even that best. They would score 2 open play goals. And these guys, it was hard for Fluminense to score one in open play. And Flamengo just didn't score from open play in that game. Jorginho would get a pen and scores it, but it was too late. These guys get away with a draw, with a win. Look at this fraud. It's Pelo Largo. Get out of here. And what has he done? Just going flip-flopping. Get out of here. This fraud. El pinche Pelo Largo. Hercules gets an assist. Rossi was not that great. He made those mistakes to the goal for Fluminense. The second one is that just playing out of the back. And this is ridiculous. Not my man. Rossi's one of his worst performances. What a joke.
Yeah, what a joke.
Palmeiras drew 0-0 Victoria. The Piggies didn't even win. And this was a joke. And then every single week, bro. But here's the thing. They did bounce back against Bragantino. And guess what? The same team that beaten Flamengo, their biggest rivals, the good news is they drew 0-0 with Palmeiras, which does help Flamengo in disguise. Look, they would win 0. Yeah, I know there was one pen. The 2 were just from open play. They got the job done because under Titi, this was 2-1, and the game was a lot closer. And they needed an own goal to win. The last time, this was not good. This one was much better, way more better. This wasn't a good performance. This was an own goal. Bro. Whoever scored that own goal, they didn't score from open play. And then they were giving them a high rating. Get out of here. when he scored that bloody own goal. What is Fama doing? What a joke! This guy was from Germany's grandparents or something. What a joke! But this time, much better. 3-0 instead of 2-1, 3-0.
Uh-huh.
Regatina, they had to lose. They just had to lose. So these were and then the league season would almost come to an end. They would play Atletico. What's this called? Oh yeah, the Super Cup is coming up again. Why does that have to be played in Saudi Arabia? Why does the Super Cup have to be played in bloody Saudi Arabia? Alright. And then they would draw 1-1 for Atletico Mineiro, but they didn't win the game. This was the final result of 1-1.
Also, ignore that.
Yeah.
Gonna have little mind on it.
Alright, my uncle. No. The game ended in a 1-1 draw. Atletico Mineiro, they only wanted to play games because they wanted to. And then against Flamengo, this one's being played in Jeddah. Get out of here. Get out of here, Super Cup. Yeah, they win. They needed to win, but they could have. Palmeiras lost against Grêmio. Flamengo could have won, and could have won the league title earlier. But instead they had to wait till next week. They had to chase that Libertadores trophy instead.
Uh-huh.
And these guys would go ahead and win it anyways, but it ended 1-1. Unfortunately, now let's go. Mineiro, they couldn't afford them. They were just scumbag and wins. This is why I can't resist. I can't can't really stand that.
Uh-huh.
What do you think of the 1-1 draw? Just mid-performance. Even though I know to get rested for the Libertadores. And then here was the big one. The trophy started to come in. Oh, no, not Syria. The trophy started to come in. Guess what? Flamengo wins as Beta Campeón. Or fourth champion. They beat Danilo, scores a header. 1-0. Former Manchester City Juventus defender would score ahead in Flamengo's hero. Yep. 1-0. They even did a match review, which we all know. Danilo would score that header to win the Copa Libertadores for Flamengo and brought them the fourth league title by beating their biggest rivals, Palmeiras, for a third time in a row. And these guys wouldn't even have a shot on target in open play.
Uh-huh.
They didn't even have a shot on target, the Pigs. They're not good enough. 3, much better. We all knew the header was coming. Victor Roque was awful, bro. Andres Pereira, stinker and hug. He's ruining his legacy for both Flamengo, because he joined their biggest rivals, Palmeiras, and Brazil. This is the biggest fraud. And this guy needs to be absolute clown. Maybe don't call him up for Brazil. Because he's going to embarrass us. And people accept this as a joke. Vega, mid to trash. Lopez, Parker Lopez or Say Lopez, you were non-existent. This is the Bruno Focus, even though I think he's back with Atletico Mineiro now on loan. What a joke. You guys were not good enough. Palmeiras and Atletico Mineiro both lost the final. They thought they would meet in the final. Nope. They can't even meet in the third match final of losers, which I thought it should have been. Allen, Gomez, Miguel couldn't save that goal. I mean, I thought it was okay, just of course, but yeah, that was it. And Flamengo, we all know they would win the fourth champion. and Filipe Luis would deliver, and they go ahead and lift that title, and send
Uh-huh.
it home. And then Flamengo, they qualified for the FIFA Cup. Flamengo would have won. Flamengo would enter the 2029 FIFA Club World Cup, all thanks to him. So
Yeah, thanks to him.
all I gotta say, my room. All I gotta say to my room, the tactics you set up, and even though this wasn't a great game, but Palmeiras, they did nothing. But unfortunately, if Flamengo were on it, this should have been 3-0, maybe 5-0 at best, like Inter Milan, PSG against Inter Milan, right? In the Champions League final.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of this 1-0 loss? Or 1-0 win, and Flamengo would win the Copa Libertadores. Cooler, I'm almost there. Cooler, sorry for it took so long. But yeah, this is where they win Libertadores. That's how they did it. And then guess what? A few days later, after that, they host a parade. And then heading to the Maracanã, the stadium was almost full. I mean, it should have been full. San Marino gets the winner. San Marino, the GOAT, gets the winner and wins Flamengo the 9th league title. And the fans said, yeah! All right, let me show you an example what I'm talking about. Hold on. I know Max, he says he wants to do a night stream. Is Max doing a night stream, Dax?
Yeah.
Tell him to wait up for 10 minutes. I'll be there. Or we'll be there.
Yeah. Maybe I'll join on my phone.
Or maybe wait for a few minutes. We'll be done with this.
Yeah, at like 8:55.
Like 9 o'clock.
Alright.
Yeah. Tell them in the chat to wait up or on DMs or both. Alright, oh shoot, I forgot. Oh, my bad. Hold on. Let me try to do the good sound effect. Alright, you want to hear the sound effect?
Yeah.
Alright. Yeah, it looks like trying to. Yep. Alright, let's listen. That's what it sounds like to me. Yes! They lift the league title!
Wow.
That was exactly that when they lifted the league title. Ta-da! They would win 2 trophies in 4 days. And then we get rival tier. The banter was so strong. Filipe Luis, the GOAT, San Marino, the GOAT, Atletico Madrid to the world. And then, yeah. So, all right. Let me play the sound. Yep. You hear the sound? All right. Like that, right? Yeah, the 3-3. And by the way, the 3-3, that draw, in my opinion, that game against Mirasol, that game didn't matter. Flamengo were champions. They were only resting players for Cruz Azul, preparing for the FIFA Intercontinental Cup, the trial to Qatar. The game ends in the 3-3 draw. Mirasol and Flamengo ends in the 3-3 draw. And it was the B team or academy players, and they played really well. I was surprised. And for Flamengo, they go ahead and draw this game. This game didn't matter. They had to send a different coach because the game didn't matter. You send in Flamengo U20, yeah, because Filipe Luis and the main guys were just focusing on Cruz Azul, and then PSG basically in like 2 weeks.
All right.
So yeah, we're almost there. Finally, it's just so much games. These are the last 3 games,
Yep.
in my opinion.
Well,
Flamengo.
since it's 4 minutes before bedtime, I had to go. Good night, everyone.
Goodbye, man.
Goodbye, C Media.
Yep.
By the way, I forgot to ask you this, but have you? I forgot to ask you, C Media. Um, oh yeah. Have you and hey you Dax? Have you
Huh?
and him made any rounds lately?
Oh, it means C Media.
Yeah, in like round projects.
Not as much, but
So when was the last time, or what project are you guys kind of working? Again, just wondering.
I think the last time we made rounds together was to build Jensen YTP.
Uh, and you made it to the 10,000 mark, right?
We're almost there.
Or you're almost there. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And then this game, Flamengo, they did play well. Cruz Azul's goalkeeper. I know Kevin Mier wasn't there because due to the stupid Panamanian making the dirty tackle. Ascayeta got man of the match. Brian Rodriguez, he got the assist and goal. And I was dying of laughter because these guys are absolutely awful for Mexico. They're basically a big meme, and they showed up in this game. But it wouldn't be enough for Cruz Azul. Eric Leo wasn't that good. Pioli was getting cooked, unfortunately. Their version of Pioli that led to Ascayeta getting a goal. Rodoni thought he could come back with me as he comes off the bench. They brought Luca Ramiro, Bogush, but it was too late. Cebula, they all should have started, but it was too late. And they win the Derbies to America trophy, the blue one. This is a huge one, and the game ended 2-1 for Flamengo. But I thought Cruz Azul played well. It's just Flamengo. Filipe Luis is building the dynasty, so I'll give them that. I thought Cruz Azul gave Flamengo a better game than Palmeiras. Much better. Way better. Even though I did concede 2 goals, but I thought they gave a much better game, honestly, compared to Palmeiras.
Yeah.
And then 2 more games. Pyramids FC, 2-0 win, set pieces. Pereira, Danilo goes in. And yeah, Flamengo, after that final whistle, yes, they would lift the FIFA Challenger Cup. That trophy, which was the last trophy they won almost exactly 2 weeks ago. After they won that trophy, Flamengo, we're going to face PSG from the Club World Cup final. Flamengo and PSG, I knew that game was going to happen. This was going to be the biggest Intercontinental Cup clashes in a long time.
Yep.
Since made us Chelsea. But this one was going to be bigger because 2 of them were just like how Chelsea and Palmeiras were fighting out for the first Club World Cup Intercontinental Cup title. Flamengo and PSG the same. PSG could have won the Club World Cup title if they beaten Chelsea, and they didn't. They played bad. 3-0. And after that game, Flamengo and PSG, we all know the final result was a 1-1 draw. And Filipe Luis did everything in his power to win this game. But for PSG, they didn't have everyone. They had everyone available compared to the game against Chelsea. Lee this time played in this game. You know, he got subbed out injured. Unfortunately, we lost on pens. Flamengo lost on pens. This was the closest one because they showed PSG could fight. Yes, they got bullied off the ball. PSG had the better chances. They had the better shots. They had 9 shots on target. Rossi had a fantastic game, but there was just that one error against Kvaratskhelia that won them. That basically conceded the open play goal. And Flamengo,
Yeah.
they gave everything. They gave everything. They went to extra time. Jorginho Ascayeta wins the penalty for Flamengo, and Jorginho equalizes. And then Mascayeta couldn't handle up with the pressure, basically, unfortunately. So they had to sub him off, unfortunately. And Jorginho scored a penalty. And then it was going back and forth. Pedro was back, but he couldn't find his shooting boots, unfortunately. Sam Molino comes on, but it was like a little bit too late. Thought he could have been subbed. I thought Filipe Luis did the right subs almost. And then we all know PSG brought on Dembele, Barcola, Mayulo. And Mayulo had to get off. He went off injured.
Like, damn.
PSG, Luis Enrique didn't make as much subs. Even though he was using the A team, I'm surprised he didn't use Gonzalo Ramos. Because he normally bag winners. Hakimi, we all know he was coming from injury, and plus he had that international duty. He played for Morocco today. This was the game that I knew it was happening. I predicted this game to happen. From the Club World Cup final, Barcelona will win every single game. The year will go on an unbeaten streak. And we'll talk about Barcelona in a bit. I just want to finish off on Filipe Luis and Flamengo. But yeah, unfortunately, the penalty kicks didn't went our way. The Russian goalkeeper, Safanon, would go ahead and bloody freaking win it for them, saving 4 straight penalties. And those penalties should have been retaken, but everyone else missed penalties. It was an absolute joke. Leo Pereira, Saul, and Luis Araujo, why did you miss? Flamengo could have won this Intercontinental Cup. Dembele missed a pen. Barcola missed a pen. And I'm just gutted, bro. Honestly, this was the game that we should have won. This Intercontinental Cup. And by the way, Dax, are you there? I need to ask you something. But we were so close on a Brazilian South American club on winning this Intercontinental Cup since Corinthians. And we're not going to get a touch to it ever again. This was the closest chance to win it. We're likely not winning it in a while. And I hope with Filipe Luis, this brings 2026 better for Flamengo. They're just going to, I hope they use this motivation to win every single trophy. Go for the Continental Cup. I'm just gutted, bro. Imagine if Staffanon didn't have the game of his life. Imagine if, okay, maybe Saul probably missed his penalty because he looked nervous. Imagine if bloody Pedro, Luis Araujo, and maybe what's his name? Who else missed the pen? Imagine if Pedro, Luis Araujo scored their pens, and who else missed? They just keep on missing. Only one pen. De La Cruz scored. We went to pens. This is so close, and these guys keep getting away with it. Leo Pereira, why did you guys have to miss? Oh my goodness. If these guys practice penalty kicks, this is why he got knocked out by Atletico Mineiro. I know it went well against Estudiantes. He was so close on conquering the world almost again. And now we have to wait until another year. Now Flamengo has to win another Libertadores title to come back. I was just gutted. Even though Pedro's penalty should have been getting retaken. But at the same time, PSG were not even that great. Yeah, Nuno Mendes scored his pen. Vitinha scored his pen. But Dembele, Barcola, they missed. And the reason why there was a 5th round activated, because you guys missed your pens. Yeah, you guys didn't take advantage. It's so annoying. If Lucas Chevalier was in goal, he probably would have conceded that Luis Araujo chance in open play, maybe, or maybe would have saved that. I don't know if PSG will win back-to-back Champions League. Honestly, I don't know. But I was just disappointed. And by the way, once I end the stream, send me the link to Max's stream.
Yeah, you can check on the group.
Oh yeah, I sent it. Okay, but yeah, I was just disappointed, and that's how Flamengo season end. I was just disappointed, bro.
Yeah.
Now I have to wait till next year, And it's likely going to be another European giant winning the Champions League. It doesn't matter who it is. It's hard to beat Barcelona, Real Madrid. It doesn't matter. Barcelona, Real Madrid, PSG, Bayern, Chelsea. They're all hard to beat. So Barcelona, you guys are sitting in first. You guys play Espanyol this Saturday, and then you guys will play Bilbao soon. Even though this game hasn't confirmed the time, but it's likely 11 a.m., aka 9 p.m. over there in Saudi Arabia. And then you guys will play Sociedad, even though this is hold on, no, this is Spanish time. This is England time. Technically this is 9 p.m. kickoff over there. 12 p.m. kickoff for me, 12 p.m., 11 a.m., 12 p.m. You guys play on Espanyol on Saturday, and then you guys play Bilbao. You guys host that. Declare the home team. Sociedad. Again, they will be away and San Sebastian, but in between is the Super Cup final when there's also the Copa del Rey match, round 16. So we'll find out who's your opponent by January the 7th. I think that's the Copa del Rey. You guys play Saga Praga away. You guys play Real Odevello, which I think that match has been confirmed or not yet. No, it hasn't.
No.
Where is it? I'm not sure. Not yet. And then, yeah, these games, they're not yet to be confirmed. I think Barcelona will get another 2-0 win or 3-0 win against Bilbao. And then whoever knows in that El Clasico or Atleti Barca, we'll see who makes it to the final. Sociedad Barcelona, I think Barcelona should win this game 3-1 or 2-0 or 3-0, in my opinion. They should win that game and not let those Arsenal puppets get away with it. Barcelona Saba Praga. Barcelona a 3-1 win. Real Odevello, I think you get a 3-0 win or a 4-1 win or 4-0 win. That's my and then you guys get a 3-0 win. I think those are my final predictions for Barcelona. What about you guys?
No idea.
4-day games. Let me see the chat before I end this. But yeah, these are the matches basically. But yeah, I know it's been a while since the first stream, but yeah. Anyone in the chat before I end this? Because I will be ending this in 2 minutes. So, any final thoughts, guys. Let me ask. If not, but yeah, my prediction: 3-1 Barcelona or 3-0 Barcelona or 4-1 in all these games, including against Sociedad. So I hope. Yeah, that's my final score. I'm just waiting for the chat. Yeah, I didn't have time to do the other ones. But yeah. All right. Any final thoughts, guys? I'll be back tomorrow. Copa do Brazilian League review is tomorrow.
Yep.
Either at 10:30 a.m. my time or 3 p.m. Or should I say England 6:30 p.m. or 11 p.m. I might be live again, even though this will be a bit different.
Yep.
Am I surprised? This is AI. I'm not surprised. I'm sorry. But yeah, I don't think anyone says. All right. Thank you guys for watching. I think that's all I got to say. Dax, I'll be joining Max in a bit and you. So yeah, that's all I got to say. I'll be back, guys, tomorrow. Thank goodness StreamYard didn't act up tonight. I'll be back tomorrow. There's my Flamengo review. Like I said, enjoy the stream. So yeah, like and subscribe, comment. You know the drill. All right, enjoy your day.
Yep. See ya, everyone.